Okay. Hello. Today's the 20th? Yep. Okay, so what are we doing? We are going to look at this maze. Hello. Oh, hello. So we have our maze. This is our maze. This maze is for what? We're going to learn how to read the abacus. Here is the abacus. Here is my abacus. An abacus is a counting tool. Hello. So what we're doing is we're learning how to read the abacus. The one that we do for the abacus is just to read. So when we're looking, we have the top bead is a value of 5. The bottom bead is a value of 2. So value of 1. So we have 2 beads at the bottom. So this is touching the horizontal bar. Because these are touching the horizontal bar, this is what's considered counted. Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. Hello. What we're doing is we're learning how to read the abacus. After we learn how to read the abacus, we can do some arithmetic. We can add, subtract, multiply, and divide on the abacus. Hello, everybody. So this number is actually 700. We have 7, 0, 0. Why is that? Because none of these beads are touching this horizontal bar. Because the beads are not touching the horizontal bar, these beads are not counted. Right now, we're only dealing with this one column. This one column has 7. How is this 7? Because the top bead is a value of 5 and then 2 bottom beads. So 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. That's what we have here. And then what do we have? The next number is going to be 6. So we have 5 and then 6. Together, it makes 6. 5 plus 1 is 6. So our number that we have is actually a 3-digit number. It is 706. That's what that looks like. So that follows our path to this number. That's what 706 looks like. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Hello. So our next number here is going to be 500. That's what it is, 500. How do I know it's 500? Because you might see that there is a label. Hello, thank you so much for liking my live. There's a label right here. This is my ones place. So at the ones place, right? After the ones, to the left of it is the tens. After that, after the tens is the hundreds. Well, when we're looking, we have our place value. We have our ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and then 10,000s. Hello, thank you everybody. Thank you everybody for joining. So here we have 5. The top bead is a value of 5. And when we look, we have 9. This is 9. How is this 9? Had to heart it. So I'm so okay. So we're going to do 9. How is this 9? We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 is the top bead, 4 is the bottom beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when we look, if I take away the 5, we are looking at 4. This is 504. But when you add the 5 to this column, it is now 9. That is how we do, that's how we count. That's how we count on the abacus. So we have 9. If we look, this is 0. None of these beads are touching the horizontal bar, so these are not being counted. Thank you so much for, hello Tammy, hello, thank you Charlie. It is not 59, you're almost close. It is actually 590, because this right here is my ones place, but thank you so much for telling me. Thank you so much for the comment. Charlie, does that make sense? So when we're looking, we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds. Thank you so much, Don. Thank you so much for liking it. Thank you. If you could, please tap. Please tap. So then we have 590, right? 509 and then 0. So don't forget that right here is my ones place. Hello, everybody. Hello. What we're doing is we're learning how to read the abacus. And for those of you that just joined, please keep your mind open.
Open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
Oh, good. So it makes sense, right, Charlie? So we have our next number. We have our 3-digit number. How do I know it's 3 digits? Because I have 3 beads on the columns, touching in the columns. So when we have our number, we have our hundreds, our tens, and then our ones. So what number? Let's get to 1,000 people. I would appreciate that, Don. Thank you so much. So we have, thank you, Raphael. It is 312. Well done. So we have 300. We have 1, 2, 3. Anytime the beads are touching this horizontal bar, it is being counted. So I have 300, 1, and a 2. 3, and then this is a 1. This is a tens. There's a 1 tens, and then this is the ones. So there's 2 ones here. So we have our number is 312. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. For those of you that are just joining in, what we're doing is we're learning how to read the abacus. We have our next number. Look, it is, even though it says it's 3 digits, we're only using 2 columns because we have our beads that are touching the horizontal bar. So we have our top bead, is a value of 5, and the bottom bead is a value of 1. Thank you, Raphael. It is 51. Over 1,000 likes. Oh, thank God. Wow! Thank you so much, Don. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the reminder. So yes, thank you, Raphael. It is 51. So after 51, we will go into this number. What number do you think this is? For those of you that are interested, please go ahead and comment what you think this number is. So we have our hundreds, we have our tens, and we have our ones. What number do you think this is? Thank you, everybody, for liking the live. Hopefully, we can get to more people. I am here to spread the good word of the abacus. How do we do? Hello, Allie. Hello, Sammy. Hello, Don. Yes. So it is 170. No, 192. That's what it is. Hello, Salt. Hello. Wow. Hello, Blood Sun. Wow. Hello. Hello, Allie. Thank you so much. It is 192. So, in our abacus, let's get to 2,000 people if you're enjoying this. Oh, thank you so much for the reminder, Dawn. I'm going to pin it. Thank you so much. I can pin it. Yes, so we have 192. Well done, well done, well done. So the number is 192. What is our next number? Thank you, Lena, for the rose. Thank you, Lena, for the rose. So when we're looking at this next number. This next number is, what number are we doing? So for those of you that are interested, I do have this book available in my TikTok shop. I have my top bead, and there's 2 top beads. We have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Lena. Yes, Allie, you're well done. Well done. This is my favorite live for real. Thank you, Salt. Thank you, Salt. I appreciate that. Yes, it is, but it is not 55. It is 550. Why? Because this is the ones place. Why is that the ones place? Because I have a label right here that tells me the ones place. So we have our ones, our tens, and our hundreds. So when we're looking, it is 550. Well done, but good. I'm happy you're actively participating. Please continue to participate, because then I know I'm not the only one in the room. Thank you, everybody, so much for liking the live. The hardest part of learning the abacus is sneezing. Yes, right? I know. Or you know what? Or somebody bumps your table and it knocks your table, and then your abacus gets all boogered up. And I'm like, ah! I get it. Oh, good. So what is the next one? We have our next number. We have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. Thank you, Geraldine. Yes. Geraldine. Yes. Thank you, Allie. Thank you, Geraldine. Olivas. Yes. So we have 381. How do we get 300? Well, 300, we have 1, 2, 3. Notice that the top bead is not touching the reckoning bar. The top bead is not touching the horizontal bar. Because the top bead is not touching the horizontal bar, this is not being counted. So we have this one. It looks very similar, doesn't it? We have 3 and a 3. But when I add the 5, now we have 8. Are there any clicky abacus like the ones that click in place? No, there are abacus that are that are a little bit difficult to move, but that's only for people that are having difficult seeing, right? Those are for usually the blind people. But other than that, no, there's no clicking abacus. Oh, no, there's no clicking abacus. There is a teacher's abacus. There is a teacher's abacus, and it kind of clicks if you move it hard enough. But it's kind of difficult. It's not difficult. It's just kind of big, and you would have to really put pressure into it. But this one is kind of nice. And if that's what you're thinking about, clicky, clicky, click. Okay, so, but no, there's not a one personal one that's clicking. Not like a typewriter. Not like a typewriter. That's how old I am. Not like a keyboard. So we have 381. Well done, well done. And so we have our next number. Thank you, everybody, for liking the live. Thank you so much for liking the live. I didn't think there was going to be that many people in the middle of the day. So we have our next number. We have our 900. I'm sorry. We have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. What number? My cat's name is Atticus. Oh, and sometimes I call him Abacus for fun. That's funny. That's so funny. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Geraldine. Yes, it is 999. How did you get that? It's because the top beads are touching, right? And the bottom beads are also touching. And all of the beads are touching in each column. What we're doing is we're looking at this horizontal bar. And when the beads are touching the horizontal bar, that is what's being counted. So we have 999. That's what that looks like. Well done. 999, and then we have this one right here. So we have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. Thank you, the TED. Is that very close to the TED Talk? So thank you, Ted. Yes, well done. It is 913. Well done. Thank you, Juice. Yes, it is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 in the hundreds column. We have 1 in the tens column. And we have 3 in the ones column. So we get 913. Well done, everybody. Well done. So what we're doing is learning how to read the abacus. Thank you so much for joining. After we learn how to read the abacus, we will go into understanding how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Now open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
So what number do we have next? Thank you, everybody, for joining. For those of you that are interested, I do sell the abacus in my TikTok shop and this book. Yes, thank you, Juice. It is 538. So what we're doing is learning how to read the abacus. Oh, very close, Ted. We have to pay attention to the 5 over here. So we have 538. So we have the top bead is a value of 5. The top bead is touching this horizontal bar. Because the top bead is touching the horizontal bar, this is what's being counted. None of these are touching the horizontal bar, so these are not counted. So all of these are down here. Now, if you notice, this one is not touching the horizontal bar. The top bead is not touching the horizontal bar, so we do not count the top bead. But we have 3 beads, 1, 2, 3, are touching the horizontal bar. This one is not touching, so it's not counted. And then it's the same thing with here. So we have 3, and then if I take away the 5, now we have 3 again. But if you notice, if I add the 5, now we have 8. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. So we have 538. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. That is the answer. That is the answer. That is the answer. Okay, what is our next number? So we have our hundreds, we have our tens, and we have our ones. What number do we think this is? Thank you, BB, for the follow, and the Bijou. Thank you for the follow. Okay, what is our next number? It is 780. It is not 780. It is not 812. It is not 812. It is 870. Thank you, Geraldine. Right? 870. How did you get 7? How did I get 8? 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I don't know what happened, Juice. You were on a roll. So we have 5, 6, and then 7. I switched the numbers. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, I see that now. I see that. Yes. So we have 870, and then this is a 0. There you go. So don't forget, the 0 is just like our paycheck. We want to have more zeros in the back so we have more money. But don't forget the 0. The 0 is our placeholder. So that's what it is. And we are done. We're last number, and then we're going to start going into adding and subtracting. So we have our next number. What is our next number? We have our tens. We have our hundreds, tens, and ones. We have our hundreds, tens, and ones. What number do we think this is? Thank you. It is 754. Thank you, Juice. Yes, well done. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Sol. Thank you, Geraldine. Yes. So it's 700, 5, 6, 7. We have the 5, right? The top beat is a value of 5. And then we have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to remember that the top beat is touching the reckoning bar. We have to, thank you so much, Lena, for the Pharaoh mask. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we have this. We have to pay attention. This is where the 5 is. So it's actually 700, 5, 4. And that's what the answer is. That's what the answer is. So, for those of you that are interested, I do have this book available in my shop if you want to do more reading the abacus, and I made it into a maze. So, the idea is to look at the number of the abacus and then find the path. I give you a mask maze in the beginning of the book. The reason why is so then you can cover up the path, because it's easy to see. I mean, I've already done it, but it's easy to see what the numbers are. So that's why I give you the mask maze. However, I noticed that there is the paper is a little bit thin, so I give you the opportunity to download, and you can print it on a thicker page. So that's what I'm using here. This is actually a file folder that I found, and I just printed on it. So that's what this is. And in the beginning of the book, we started talking about how to read the abacus, and I do a little review, how to read the abacus single digit and how to read the abacus double digit, right? When we see 36, we know that this is our tens and this is our ones. And then we have a reminder of what the hundreds are. So the hundreds is our hundreds, tens, and ones. And you'll notice that I have a ones indicator. That's what this is. We have a ones indicator. We have our 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. That's the value of 5. Thank you, Salt, for the thank you. Thank you, Salt. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. That's what that is, right? So when we're looking, we're understanding how to read the abacus. After 10, we could do 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Footy edits 2025. What we try not do here. We're trying to read the abacus. That's what we're doing. Wow. That's a barge. Okay. So, for those of you that are interested, and then that's what this is. I also give you another way of looking at a maze. What I do is I give you the path, and I give you the number, and what you're supposed to do is you are supposed to color in. Whoa, chill, foot. Chill, footy. Wow, you're really out the door yelling. What's the problem? What's the problem? Hold the door. Hold the door. Calm down. Calm down. There's no need to rush. There's no need to rush. So, when you're looking at it, you have the number, and then I ask you to color in the number. And that's what this is. This is what I call a reverse maze. And that's it. So, and if you're ever wondering, I do have the answers in the back of the book, but shh, don't tell the kids. But I do have answers in the back of the book just in case the numbers don't make sense. And that's what I have. So this book is available in the TikTok shop for those of you that are interested. I actually have I have 3. So there's the 3 digits for children that are, for adults or children. I would say maybe for if you're looking for the kids, maybe they're 6, 7, 8. I guess maybe kindergarten or first grade can do 2 digits, right? And so this is a 2-digit one, and it only is the tens and the ones. Oh my! I really don't care. Oh my! Then you need to leave. Ooh, I blocked him. Okay, so if you're wanting, this is also a 2-digit number, and it goes from 0 to 99. And again, this is just practicing the numbers on how to read the abacus. Again, I give you a reverse maze, and then I also give you a normal maze. You figure out what the number is, and you find the path. And again, you still have the mask maze in the front. We have the answers in the back. And then this one is a 4-digit number. Be nice, everyone. I know, right, Jay? But that's okay. I already blocked Footy. The Footy wasn't an interesting troll, so I just decided to block him. If the trolls are interesting, right? If the trolls are interesting, then I can rip on them. But they're not interesting. I can't cook them if they're not interesting. We're learning valuable skill. Yeah, my dogs are making me mad. I am bored again. Because they don't want you to do it. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for checking in. Hello, I am bored again. I think you need to rub your dog's belly again. Okay, so if you're interested, I also have a 4-digit number. Why do we have 4-digit? Well, the 4-digit would be maybe the kids that are older, right? So this would be maybe 8, 9, and 10. And again, it's just reviewing how to read the abacus on the tens, the hundreds, the thousands, the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. And it's the same thing. This one is not fully done, but it will be. And again, the situation is I decided to color in whatever was the path and then color in the not path because I was trying to make it look pretty. But you don't need to color in the not path. You just color in the path. So this was the answer, right? 874, and you have to figure that out, and that's what the path is. So, try to get my mutt through the door. Oh yeah? Oh, and then again, I do a review. So in the beginning, I still do a review just in case, depending on what book you picked up. But if you're looking for something younger, I do have, and that's what we're going to do right now, actually, is because now we know how to read the abacus, we're going to actually start learning how to move the beads. So we have our hundreds. So this is a review about the hundreds. Again, I give you the mask maze, and then we also review the thousands. And this is how I build it out. You are in an odd time today. I'm trying different times. I'm trying different times to see what sticks. And it seems like it's working because there's like 80 people in the room. This is crazy. I didn't think there was going to be that many people because sometimes I try in different times. Okay, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you everybody for joining. Welcome. Please keep your mind open for something different.
Now, open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
We're going to continue on understanding how to read the abacus. So here I have 3,000. We've done this one, right? 3,000, 1, 2, 3, 456. That's what that would look like. Now, if you notice, right, if you see that there's a comma, this comma signifies is right here. This is my ones. This is my thousands place. My ones place is right here, and that's what it would look like. 3,456. If I made it one more, right, we can actually do decimals. We could do 73,456.25. Does that make sense? So the decimals sits after the ones place. Here's my little chart. So we have our ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and 10,000s. Hello, thank you so much for sharing my live. Thank you so much, Apple Pie and Perla. Thank you so much. So we have our decimals, we have our tens, and our hundreds. Now we understand decimals, right? Thank you so much for liking the live. So what's this number? Well, this number is just that. 55,555.55. And I'm gonna do a post on that one. That was funny. There was this one person that said 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55, and I was like, what are you talking about? And it's like, oh, it was a skit. I was like, oh, so I had to go find that skit. So this one is 99,999.99. Does that make sense? How are you doing? We okay? So what we're doing is we're still learning how to read the abacus, but you're starting to see how it's versatile, right? What inspired to use the abacus? I was told that I had to learn it because my dad wanted to open a learning center. And I was like, what is an abacus? Why are we learning this? And so we opened up the learning center. I've been teaching abacus for about 20 years now, and I really do think it's the greatest thing next to sliced bread, because you know what we're going to do when we start going into adding and subtracting, you're going to realize that we don't have to memorize as much as you do. So in abacus, Abacus actually sifts through the noise. There's a lot of noise with the adding and subtracting with all the different strategies, but I'll show you how to do it on the abacus, and you're going to see how simple it is. There's a few things that you do have to know. There's concepts that you have to know. You have to know the concept of how to make a 5, which is a fact family, and we have how to make a 10. That's also another fact family. And those are the only 2 fact families you want. Yeah. I love your dedication. It's warming. Oh yeah, thank you so much. The funny thing is I've been talking about the abacus for 20 years, and I can't believe I still really enjoy talking about the abacus. And you know what really sparks my interest? What really warms my heart is when people are like understanding how easy it is. Abacus is really simple to use and easy to understand. And it's just really crazy. It's really crazy. So for those of you that are interested, this is 99,999.99. Thank you so much, VM, for the comment. This is my first time. Whoa, right? I don't have a thing. I just have this. welcome. Welcome. All right, so we understand this. Okay, so here's another version, right? You can use Roman numerals. Some people say, oh, it kind of reminds me of Roman numerals. I'm like, oh, okay. So we could do Roman numerals. We do 1, we have 2, right? 1, 2. This is 3, 1, 2, 3. We have 4, right? 4 is just 1 minus 5, which is fine. This is 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. But this is where it kind of is very similar. 5 is a V. 5 is the top bead. Because the top bead is 5, then we can do 6 because it's 1 and a 5. 7, 5, 6, 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. We do 8, 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. And then we have 9. That's what we have. So we have 9. And then what's 10? 10 is, if you do notice that we reset the ones place to make it a 0, and then we add the 1. And you're going to start really seeing the number patterns behind it. Hello. No, this is not 6, 7. It is 10. That's what that is. This is 10. 1 and a 0. 1 and a 0. When the beads are touching the horizontal bar, it is 1. No, it is counted. There we go. When the beads are touching the reckoning bar, when the beads are touching the horizontal bar, it is considered 1. Hey, Rich! Welcome, welcome, welcome. No. CR7, it is not 67. It is 10. I'm not sure if you're understanding either, so you're blocked. Okay, so we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, and our 10,000s. I know. It's a meme, teacher, don't fall for it. No, I know. And it makes me mad. It actually triggers me. Yeah, it actually triggers me because everybody barges in the room saying 6, 7, 6, 7. And I'm like, really? Just if you sit back a little bit, everything will be explained. And it's the dumbest meme. It's the dumbest meme, but whatever. I get the most because I'm counting. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, and I can't really cook them because they're just repeating. Okay, so what are we doing? How do you make it 10? Oh, exactly. That's what 10 is, right? Just how we write 1 and a 0, that's how you do 10. Thank you for the comment. I hope that makes sense. What is that? Why? Because every column is a place value. Right? We have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, and our 10,000s. That's why. And then if we look, this is the only bead touching the horizontal bar. When the bead is only touching the horizontal bar, this is what's considered counted. So none of these are touching the horizontal bar, so these are not counted. Yeah? Does that make sense? Legalize? Okay, so what are we doing now? We're going to go into this. This is a book for those children that are like 2, 3, no, 2 is too, I think 2 is too young. 3 is kind of pushing it depending on how mature they are. 4 and 5, right? And so when we're looking, this is a Abacus book for preschoolers. And this is just to understand what the numbers are and walk them through it, how to see the numbers and how it relates to the abacus, and that's all it is. And so what we're doing is here, we're just trying to understand what the numbers are with the abacus. And this is my book. This is the book that I've created. We have a little pixel art, and then after that we could start counting from 5 to 9, and then after 5 to 9, again, is more activities to just solidify the numbers, and then after that, we have activities. After we have activities, right, we have a pixel art, color by number, mark the questions, and then follow the path, and so forth. And then after that, we start counting forward. We count backwards. After counting backwards, we can count, we can figure out what comes in between. After it comes in between, we need to understand what comes surrounding. After surrounding, we can do a comparison. After the comparison is now, we're going to get into adding and subtracting. So in the abacus world, when we do adding and subtracting, we actually need to know the number that happens after, right? We're not going to memorize or we're not going to focus on the result. What we're going to do is we're going to focus in on the process. Marry the process, divorce the result. Why? Because it's the second number that tells us whether or not we're going to need a formula. So if I have my number, I have 7 on the abacus, there's my 7, and I have to add the 1. Can I add the 1? Yes, I can. I can add the 1. I have this one random bead that I can move up. So you'll notice my final answer is 8. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much for liking the live. So does that make sense? So we're going to continue on. After we have 1, right, we could do 2. So notice I have 6 on the abacus. I want to add 2. These are the 2 beads I'm adding. That's it. And then if I look at it, if I have 7, I want to add 2. These are only the 2 beads. So the colors don't mean anything. What it means is just to make it look pretty. If we are having problems with the colors, then I can change it to this one, but it's not as enticing. But if you look, if I have 1 and I want to add 2, I just add these 2 beads. Move the brown bead, right? So it doesn't really matter. But you have to pay attention to the positioning of the beads. So when we have the 5, right, now we have 7, we want to add 1. This is the 1 bead I need to add, right? If I had 6, I only need to use 1, just add the 1 bead. That's all I'm doing. And so my final answer is 7. So then we can continue on with 5 plus 3. So on the abacus, we do 5, and then we add the 3. That's what I would do. But if you notice in mainstream, they do dots, right? There's these dots. You could do dots, not a problem. I'm not here to judge. But it gets a little bit cumbersome after, you try to make it bigger. Why? Because in the abacus, we have 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we can supertize. We know that this is 8. However, if I did 50 plus 30, now I have 80. And then if you notice, I could do it again. In abacus, that's what we could do. But in mainstream, that's a whole lot of dots that you need to start drawing out. And then my hand gets tired. So then we have our next number, right? We can actually do 500 plus 300 is equal to 800. Thank you, everybody, for liking the live. It would be very helpful, and I would appreciate it if you could. Hello, Robert. Hello, Robert. Hello, Danica. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for liking the live. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. So we're just learning how to move the beads, and after we know how to add, we will know how to subtract. Frenchy Fried Ninja, that's so funny. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. That's a really cool name, Frenchy Fried Ninja. Okay, so hello, little Jack. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Geraldine. Thank you so much. So if you know how to add, you will know how to subtract. Why? Because you go to the horizontal bar to add. So if I add the 9, I want to take away the 2. If I take away the 2, I just take it away from the horizontal bar. That's it. Right? It doesn't matter which 2. I could take away these 2 beads, or I could take away these 2 beads. It just depends on what the question is, right? Or what, the beginning number. But again, the number is not the beginning number. It's the second number that we need to pay attention. So when we're looking, we have 7 on the abacus. I want to take away the 2. That's all I got to do is take away the 2. And then we could do the same thing with the 3 and the 4. Well, guess what? Now we have 5. 5, we add the top bead. That's what 5 is. So if I have 4 and I add the 5, now we have 9. If I want to take away, all I got to do is take away the 5. Remove it. Move it up, right? We want to take it away from the horizontal bar. And then we do it again. If I have 4 and I want to take away 1, just take away means I'm moving it away from the horizontal bar. So now it is no longer counted. This is why we need to pay attention to the beads. Anytime the beads are touching the reckoning bar, anytime the beads are touching the horizontal bar, it is considered counted. So when we're looking, we want to pay attention that this is 3. Okay, we're done? We're almost done. Because we have 1 and we have 6. When you add 6, it's 1 top bead, 1 bottom bead, and you bring it together. Thank you, Carla, for the follow. So now our answer is, what's our answer? Who in the chat tell me what my answer is? How are we doing? We're all right? Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Yes, thank you, Legalize, right? Simple. Simple to use, easy to understand. Hello, thank you. Thank you, Desiree. Thank you, Jack, right? So our number is 7. So that's our final number. So guess what? If I want to take away the 6, all I got to do is take away the 6. That's what I do. And so my final answer is 1. And that's it. All right. So you might be wondering, well, what happens when there's not enough? So we have 1 on the abacus, right? We have 1 on the abacus, and we want to add the 8. We add the 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's what we do. But then we want to take away the 6. We could take away the 6 just like that. There we go. So that's what 6 looks like. So if I take away the 6, my final answer is 3. Which is very interesting because in mainstream, I don't know why they have to memorize how to make a 9. But in abacus, we don't need to memorize. Why? Because the answers are there. We have 1 plus 8 is equal to 9. We have 2 plus 7, oh look, is equal to 9. We don't need to memorize how to make a 9, but I don't know why public schools, why some of the teachers want you to memorize how to make a 9. So we have 3, I want to add 6, oh look, there we go. add the 6. So you don't have to memorize how to make a 9 on the abacus. Whew. Okay, how are you doing? So that is how to make a 9. We could do it again. We'll do it one more time. So we have 5 on the abacus. I want to add 4. There you go. There is my 9. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you everybody for joining. Please keep your mind open for something different.
Now open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
I'm confused how it works. How this is 1. This is 2. This is 3. And this is 4. Is that confusing? So if we have 5, like a Roman numeral 5, it's just the top beat. That's it. That's what 5 looks like. We have 6, 5 plus 1, 5 plus 1, that's 6. We have 7, 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. And we have 8, we have 5 plus 3 is 8. And then we have 9. 5 plus 4 is 9. And there we are. That's it. Are you still confused? What's next? Well, what's next is we're going to figure out what happens when there's not enough beads. So, okay, I think that person left. For those of you that are interested, so we're going to go into understanding how to make a 5. This is one of the concepts that we're teaching the kids how to make a 5. This is a fact family. A fact family is 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. 1 plus 4 is equal to 5, right? Well, all we did here is we just reversed the 2, and then we have 3 plus 2, and then 2 plus 3. That's what we're doing. So what we're going to do is, what's the question? Well, the question is 4 plus 4. We know what 4 plus 4 is. Yes, we've memorized what 4 plus 4 is. However, but on the abacus, we're going to actually understand how to relate to this. When we look, we have 4 on the abacus, and I don't have any more beads to add the 4. So guess what? We are going to use the 5. Why? Because the 5 is more than enough, and I have availability right here. I cannot do this. This cannot be 4 plus 4. This is actually 44. You know what I mean? So when we're looking, this is not 4 plus 4. This is 44. 4 plus 4, right? I want to add another 4. But to add another 4, I have to give you a 5. Because that's what this is. This is what a nickel is. But because I give you the nickel, that's too much. I have to take away the 1. So my final answer is 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. And we could do it again on the abacus. We can add the 5, take away the 1, and my final answer is 8. How are we doing? So even though we had to subtract, we're adding, we are subtracting.
If you're going hard enough left, you'll find yourself turning right.
Oh, right. That makes perfect sense. Turn right to go left.
Oh, good, Desiree. Right? Good. It takes a little bit, right? I love your glasses. Thank you so much. So, yeah, it takes a little bit of time. It is a different kind of concept. So here we are. If we have 4 on the abacus, right? I want to add another 4. But because I have no more room on the abacus to add the 4, I'm going to utilize this package. This package is worth 5. But guess what? I need to remove this 1, right? Because I have to remove 1, I can't take it away from the package because it's all glued. So I have to take it away from here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I am bored again. Thank you so much for the Pharaoh mask. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. So we have, right? We want to take away the 1. If we take away the 1, then we're left with 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. How are we doing? Does that make sense? Thank you for leveling up. Thank you so much. I am bored again. Thank you so much. So does that make sense? So now we have 8. We can do it again. For those of you that just joined, what we're doing is we're learning how to read the abacus, and then we're learning how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. Please keep your mind open for something different.
Now open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
This is for Desiree.
Oh, I can see everything.
Right? Because the thing is once you understand how to do it through the abacus way, you can never unsee it. That's what I've been told. You can never unsee it. So we could do it again. If we have 3 on the abacus, 1, 2, 3, 3 on the abacus, just like that, right? We can add the 4. To add the 4, we don't have enough beads. So we have to give you the 5. But to give you the 5, that's too much. I need to remove away the 1. Why? Because this is the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th one that I do not need, but because it's attached, I can't give it away. I have to take it away from a loose bead, just like that. So my final answer is 7. 5, 6, 7. Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Welcome. Please keep your mind open.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
Legalize. Does that make sense? Little Jack, how are we doing? Right? And so what we're doing is we're understanding how to add the 4. Adding the 4, thank you everybody for liking the live. Thank you. Good afternoon, Sharon. Thank you so much. Hello, Cred. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for, yes, please. If you can, please just tap it out. Just please keep tapping tapping my live. I appreciate it when you do. Because I want to spread the good word of the abacus. That is my goal. To spread the good word of the abacus. Because when you start seeing the way the abacus is it's like a little shortcut it's like a little shortcut to addition. Multiplication is the shortcut, is just a faster way of adding. So, but the rules, not the rules, the formulas that we see here are a shortcut. How would you put a number that is over what? How would you input a number that is over what you can input, like 100,000? Well, what would I do is I would get a bigger abacus because size matters. So we have our thousands. That would be it. Right? If this is my ones, this is my thousands, this would be my 100,000s. You could, if you really wanted to, you can make this one your ones place. And then you would say ones, tens, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, 1 million. You could do that just as long as you don't get confused with the dots. You could color in the dots to make it all one, and then you can put your own dots. It is up to you. But this, the way I give it to you, it is already manufactured that way. That was good. Jen. Did you like how I thought about it? It's a very common question, but that's what you could do if you didn't want to. If you wanted to keep with this one and you wanted to use it as like the 7 columns, you could modify that. You could modify this, right? You could do modification.
You need modification. Modify.
Right? I'm not good at math at all. That's all right, Sharon. When you start using the abacus, I think you will be pretty good at it because we do basic arithmetic. You add, subtract, multiply, and divide. But that's all what the abacus does. It only helps you do adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. It is up to you if you want to get into the higher, more complex math concepts. You know, that's outside of abacus. Abacus is only for adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, and decimals. Some people ask for fractions. You could do fractions, but we really don't do fractions. Fraction is just another form of another form of division. But like if you had a fraction plus a fraction, abacus doesn't do that because you can't show that on the abacus. Yeah, you can. I mean, 1/4 and 1/4. That doesn't tell me that this is a half. You know what I mean? So abacus doesn't do fractions, but it does do decimals, and it does do, because anything that is the decimal figure, the decimal system, we can do, right? And it's usually whole numbers. Some people were asking me, well, can you do negative? It's like, well, how do you do negative on a piece of paper? A negative on the piece of paper, you still have to pay attention to it, right? So if I had I don't know, if you had 5 minus 8, you're going to get a negative. What do? Well, in paper, you still got to go 8 minus 5, right, is 3. And then you have to remember that there's that 3. So your final answer is minus 3. So it's the same thing. If you had 8 on the abacus, take away 5, right, is 3. But in your brain, you need to remember that there's a minus there. So it's just like how you do it on the paper. If whatever you could do it on the paper, you could do it on the abacus. Okay, so that is how you make a. That's how you make a 4, and then there's a whole set. The set is 3 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 4, 4 and 1, and we can continue on. So if I have 3 on the abacus, oh, thank you, Sharon. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. I think I'm gonna go get some caffeine pretty soon. Oh, you know what? I have it right here. I was going to try to go get some caffeine, but let's see if this tea works. Okay, so we're going to do 3 plus 3. Again, when we do 3 plus 3, we're going to do 3. 1, 2, 3. And we add another 3. Well, guess what? We don't have any more room to add the 3. Well, if I remember my bricks, if I remember my blocks, right? I have 3 blocks and I want to add 3. Notice I have no more room to add 3. I only have 1 bead here and a 5 up here. Oh, look, if I have a 5, I can utilize this. Because I have a 5, I can utilize it. I'm going to only take away the 3. 1, 2, 3. I notice that I have to get rid of these 2 columns, these 2 blocks. I need to get rid of these 2 blocks, but I can't because it's all attached. Just like this, right? It's all attached. Just like this nickel. You cannot break this nickel unless you had a really good pair of scissors, but you cannot break this nickel. So what do is you have to do an exchange. To do an exchange, you have to just take away the 2, just like that, right? So my final answer is 6, 5, 6. And we could do it again. What do? We're practicing until it becomes automatic. We practice and we see the different scenarios. They're not different. They're just different scenarios, but the same concept. So if I have 4 on the abacus, like that, if I have 4 on the abacus, we're not going to do doubles minus 1. Thank you, applesauce. 2 plus 2, easy. I have the 2. Is there enough to add a 2? Yes, you can add a 2. There you go. There's your 2. Right? We're not doing this. This is not 2 and 2. 2, 2 plus 2, this is not it. This is 22. Not a problem, Desiree. Not a problem. Does that make sense? So this is not 4. This is 4. This is 22. That's the difference, right? And this is not 22. Even though there's 2 beads here, we want to pay attention to the values. So this is 5, this is 5, this is 1, this is 1. So together, this is 66. Cool. So if I did 4, right, on the abacus, I did 4. I want to add the 3. I have no more room to add 3, right? All my loose beads are being used. What do? I can utilize what? I can utilize this 5. But guess what? Because the 5 is there, I only need the 3. Notice if I just take these 3, I have to take away these 2 beads. But I can't because it's part of this package. So I need to take it away from here. 1, 2. So if I did this, I'm taking away these 2 beads, these 2 columns. Thank you, Sarah. Yes. Minus the 5, plus the 5, take away the 2. So we had to subtract in order to add.
If you're going hard enough left, you'll find yourself turning right.
Oh, right. That makes perfect sense. Turn right to go left.
Does that, you know what I mean? So what we're doing is we're balancing the equation. We're substituting what we need. So here, thank you so much for liking the live. Thank you so much for liking the live. Freebirds? No, that was Cars. That was Cars. I don't have any Freebirds. I have this one.
And flick. Oh, flick too hard, damn it!
I have that one, but that has nothing to do with birds. Yeah. Owen Wilson was in Cars? Yeah, Owen Wilson was Lightning McQueen. Okay. So we're going to continue on. Oh my gosh. Okay, excuse me. Sorry. Thank you. Okay? So, when you're looking, here it is. We can do it again. We have 2 on the abacus, and just as Sarah mentioned, right? What we want to do is plus the 5, take away the 3. Take away the 2. So my final answer is 5. And so what you're going to notice is that every time you move the beads, your answer will be here. So we don't need to memorize our answers. We have to understand and remember our our number that we're trying to add or subtract. Thank you everybody for liking the live. Thank you so much. Right? So when we're looking, we can do it again. We have plus the 2. So we have 4 on the abacus. And guess what? When we have 4 on the abacus, I want to add the 2. To add the 2, the partner of 2 is 3. We know that if I have 2, right, I have to take away 3. So I have 5, and then take away the 3. So my final answer is 6. And that's what we're doing. We could do it again with this one. We have 3 on the abacus, and then I take away the 2. I want to add the 2, so I have 3. Oh, wait. I have 3. I want to add 2. If I want to add these 2, I have to take away 3. So if I take away the 3 and add the 5, there we go. So that is one of the formulas. And there we are. And then again, we have 1. Well, 1 is easy. We have 3 plus the 1. Is there a formula for that? No, there isn't a formula because you could do it. You can add the 1. So just add the 1. But the problem is right here. It's the 4. So if I have 4, I want to add the 1. I can't do it. I need to plus the 5 minus the 4. Because why? I need to, if I take away the 1, if I take the 1, I have to take away the 4. So if I add the 5 and minus the 4, that's what we do here. Yeah? Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you everybody for joining. Please keep your mind open for something different. Let's do...
Open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
Let's do a little review on how to read the abacus. For those of you that are interested, I do have this book available in my TikTok shop. It is over here. There it is. And yes, it is Total Recall. Ooh, I know you're old because I'm old too. If you knew that one, then that means you're old. How about this one? You know this one. Jen, you know that one? So, Goober, yeah, Goonies. It is Goonies. Yes! Oh, okay. So there's a lot of older people here. That's how I figure out how old everybody is. Because if you know Total Recall, then that means you grew up around that time. Unless you really like old stuff. But if I ever get any oh, that's what it is. I forgot my trolls. I forgot to do this for my trolls.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Do you understand the words that are coming out from my mouth?
Oh, you know, then your parents must be showing you some really old movies. Because my kids know Goonies too. We actually went to go visit the city. So, yeah. Oh, so this book is it focuses on adding of the 5. So we add the 5, and that's the instructions, right? The instructions are right here. So adding the 4, adding the 3, add the 2, add the 1. And then what happens is I give you the opportunity to practice. And so all of these are about practicing, and you see the activities. I have a color by number. There's a maze. After a maze, there's the hidden words. There's the word problems. And then there's color by number again. More color by number. And then there's tic-tac-toe. And the idea for the tic-tac-toe is you find a place, answer it, and then place your marker. And more mazes. That's what it is. Anytime you were wondering, I do have answers in the back of the book. Oh, you're not that old, Salt. If you're like 33, but you know those ones, that means, yeah, that means that your parents are old and they forced you to watch old movies. Oh my God. Yeah. So my kid, he is 12. He's 12. I actually showed him this one movie with Sylvester Stallone. Anybody who's seen Oscar? That was a fun movie. I really like that movie. I was able to rent that movie, and he loves it. He's probably watched it like 10 times already. Oscar. It's when Sylvester Stallone is a mobster, and he tries to go legit. I don't know if anybody's heard of that, but I love that movie. It's such a good movie. I remember when I watched it when I was a kid. It was such a good movie. Anyways, so that is how we add the 5. Guess what? If you know how to add, you will know how to subtract. For those of you that just joined, thank you everybody for joining. Let's do a little review on how to read the abacus. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you for the follow, Jen. Your kids are 12. You look... Yeah. My oldest is 18. Yeah. Yeah. But thank you. Thank you, Applesauce. Lost Boys. I love Lost Boys. I loved Kiefer Sutherland. It was just that whole group of boys, you know? And what's her name? Jamie, what's her name? Jamie Gertz? Oh, I loved her. She was so pretty, you know? And I liked her because she didn't have the blonde hair like who? Or like Demi Moore kind of. Yeah, that's what it is. Jamie Gertz. She was so pretty. She's still pretty now. She really aged well. So, but yeah, Lost Boys. What's another good one? I have this one.
Bueller. 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 Bueller.
River Phoenix was not in Lost Boys. It was Corey Haim, Corey Hart. No, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. Josh Brolin was in it. Short Circuit, yeah. Johnny Five is Alive, Short Circuit. I love that movie. And I can't believe the Indian guy was not really Indian. He was a white guy. Stand By Me. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Stand By Me. That was a good one, too. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. If you notice, why are we here? Because I have an indicator. This is my ones indicator. That tells me that this is the ones place. So when I line it up, I have my ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. Romancing the Stones. My name is Benny. Spell it, Ben. He played Indian in many. Really? Sir Ben? Oh, I remember Sir Ben Kingsley. Did he play Indian? I didn't know that. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. So, my favorite live to watch. Tyler! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. For those of you that just joined, please keep your mind open for something different.
Now open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
So let's do a little review before we go into if we know how to add, we know how to subtract. So the first thing we're going to do is understand how to read the abacus. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 20. Then we have 20, and it count by tens now. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then 100. There you go. Applesauce. I was going to say applesauce. That's what the filters are for. If I look 30, that's what the filters are for. All right. So how are we doing? We are going to go to the next one. Are we ready for our minus the 5? How are we doing? Yeah? We're going to do minus the 5? Minus the 5. When we take away the 5. So if you notice when we add 4, it looks very familiar. It looks very similar. We add the 4. We have 4 on the abacus. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to add 4. Right? This is minus. But when we add the 4, it's plus the 5 minus the 1. So my answer is 8. Well, guess what? When I subtract, it's the same but opposite. Exactly how it is. You know how to add. You know how to subtract. So if we add the 4, to subtract the 4, we take away the 5 and plus the 1. So you're now going to see a number pattern. Because patterns don't change. Yeah, patterns don't change. Right? And so what you're going to see is minus the 5 plus the 1. Add the 5 plus the 1. That's how you get 4. So when we have our question, is exactly what we had here, 8 minus 4, minus the 5 plus the 1. And we substitute this information. Why? We substitute it because we need to balance the equation. We have to, if I showed you in the blocks, right? Here you go. If I have the blocks, here's 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Guess what? If I take away 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4 bricks, right? 4 cubes, 4 blocks. I need to add back 1 more. To add back 1 more, because if I take it away, that's not enough. I need to add back the one I'm no longer using. So I have 4. That's what I did. So just as we have to subtract just like how we have to Subtract to add, we have to add to subtract.
If you're going hard enough left, you'll find yourself turning right.
Oh, right. That makes perfect sense. Turn right to go left.
So for those of you who are interested in this book, it is called the -5. Oh, I don't have that available. I apologize. But what we're doing is we're focusing on and understanding how to take away. And then you want to pay attention to the number bonds. The number bonds is what tells us what the families are, what the pairs are. Just like how we do it in the adding. So, if you know 4 and 1 is a pair, 1 and 4 is a pair. All we did is we flipped it. Same thing with the 3 and the 2 and the 2 and the 3. We can do the same thing. So we know when we're okay. So before I go on, we can do 16 on the abacus. 16 on the abacus. I want to take away 4. Guess what? I'm taking a 4 away from here. This 5, but I can't break it apart. If I take away the 4, I have to add back the 1. So if I take away the 5, I have to add back the 1. My final answer is 12. We can do it again with the 15, right? We have 1 and we have 5. I want to take away the 4. To take away the 4, what do? Minus the 5 plus the 1. And now, here's a tic-tac-toe. And then we could do the same thing with the minus the 3. When we minus the 3, we know how to add it. So if I have 4 in the abacus, I want to add 3. Remember, plus the 5 minus the 2. That is how you get 7. But if I have 7 and I want to take away the 3, it's the opposite. Minus the 5 plus the 2. Does that make sense? So what we're doing is if you know how to add, you know how to subtract. And there we go. There we go. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you everybody for joining. Please keep your mind open for something different. And if you can give me it, if you guys can help me tap it out, that'd be fantastic. So if I can get about to 10,000, that'd be great. And we're going to continue on. So here we have 16 on the abacus. We have 16, 1, and 6. We're going to, I need more practice with this. Oh yeah. So we can practice the minus. Is that what you want to do? We can practice it. So we have 16 on the abacus. We want to take away 3. Take away the 3 is minus the 5 plus the 2. So it's different, right? It's different because we don't do a lot of subtracting. But again, if you know how to add, you know how to subtract. And then we have it again. We have 36. And you're going to notice that there's a pattern. If you have 30, 1, 2, 3, and then there's 6. We want to take away 6. Take away 3 is what? Minus the 5 plus the 2. Well, let's see. We can actually scale it now. Thank you everybody for liking the live. Thank you so much for liking the live. And so let's do another one. Here, let's do an addition. We have 1, 3, 5, 7. We want to add 2,431. Thank you so much for liking the live. Thank you. So we have 2. We add 2. 1, 2. I want to add the 4. To add the 4, we know this. We remember we can utilize a concept. This is the concept. We can add the 5 and then take away the 1. So what do? We go to the next one. Add the 3. 1, 2, 3. And then add the 1. There you go. So my final answer is 2,000. No, what's my final answer? What is my final answer? Please let me know in the chat what my final answer is. Thank you so much for liking the lives, everybody. Thank you so much. What number do we think this is? What number do you think this is? Thank you, Jen. Yes, 3,788. Thank you, Raphael. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Walter. Yes. Thank you, Sarah. Yes, so it's 3,788. What did we just do? I showed you how learning how to make a 5 is now scalable. We don't have to memorize certain things. We don't have to make these into friendly numbers. Because why? We just need to look at our abacus to see what there is. Right? Okay, so we're going to continue on. We have 15 on the abacus, right? And again, I know these are simple questions, but the idea is to understand the concepts. And don't forget, these books, this specific book was meant for children that are younger, right? If you're looking for something older, I do have an abacus book for adults. For those of you that are, does it matter if you go left to right, right to left? You know, it doesn't matter. However, if you choose to go left to right, try it the other way, right to left. And you're going to start seeing which way is easier, which is really crazy. But you should try both ways. You should try both ways. Neptune Man 1. What is the point of the abacus? The point of the abacus is to visualize your numbers. Yeah. So when I teach the adults, I would tell them to go from right to left, left to right. But the kids, I would always tell them to go from left to right. And then when they do it in school, they will learn to go from right to left. Yeah, not a problem, Neptune Man. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're visualizing our numbers. And when we visualize our numbers, then we can figure out if we can add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Right? So we do it again. We do 15 on the abacus. And then we want to take away the 3, take away the 3. Take away the 3 is minus the 5. And then we add the 2. So my final answer is 12. Right? And so, yeah, this book was meant for kids after. So when I was thinking, this book was meant for kids. Oh, and that's the other thing is like, learning how to do the abacus will prevent brain rot. That was the thing. That was the big thing. Preventing brain rot. Oh yeah, here it goes. So if you are interested, I do have this book is available, and we actually do a run through. We actually do a run through. Where are we? To streamline everything, and you learn. There we go. And you learn how to add, how to make a 5, how to subtract the 5, how to add the 10, how to take away the 10. And then there's a thing called a 2-step equation, which is a very interesting thing. And that's what these are. These are for the kids because I felt like that they needed more practice. And so I give them also activities to practice, and then they go into understanding it. And then after they have an understanding, then they go to the next book. And the next book that is it as part of my curriculum. These are my books that I have created all for the abacus. The next book would be How to Make a 10. And that's what we're going to talk about. But if you notice, I do have this one available as well. Thank you, Gabby, for the follow. Ha! Invaders of Games. That's funny. Okay, sorry. So this is the abacus book for adults. And I do the same thing, but it is at a faster pace. And so we talk about how to read the abacus. We count from 1 to 10. I give you the review on the 10s. There's a mask maze. Thank you, Raphael. Yes, thank you. 10K. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. We will continue on with the how to make a 10. So we have our big brain notes, and then I give you samples of what the mazes would look like. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. And then we have counting. This is what we're doing is we're moving the beads. We have, hello, Sincere. Welcome back. It's been a little bit. We have adding, subtracting. I give you some example questions. Not example questions. I give you some practice questions. And then we subtract. We do some pixel art. So this is all part of the introduction to abacus for adults. Then we start going into understanding how to add the 5. Add the 5, and I give you some pointers and some direction. And then we have practice questions or example questions, and then we minus the 5. After you minus the 5, then there's an activity, the hidden word, find the hidden word. Thank you, Sincere. And then this is making of the 5. This is an overview on how to make a 5, and I show you its commutative property. The abacus in mainstream, they say only the addition states, but in abacus we actually have to do the subtraction state, because that's how you go that is how you balance the equation, because you can't always keep adding. You have to subtract, right, in order to stay in order to stay consistent. So after that, we talk about how to add a 10. And then after adding the 10, we minus the 10, and then we start going into understanding how to multiply. So multiplying is, in abacus world, it would be repeated addition. So we do 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. And then we do 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. And then we have a word ladder, trying to figure out, like, you get the definitions, and then you have to figure out what the word is, and then you have a ladder that you have to climb up and down. We have the plus 10 equation review, and then we do minus 10, which is what we're going to do right now. But I'm just giving you an overview of what we're working on. And then after that, we have color by number. There's a place for you to write the formulas, and then we talk about the making of the 10. This is the framework. If you have enough beads, then you just add. If you don't have enough beads, then you have to utilize the 5. If you don't have enough beads if you cannot utilize the 5, then you have to use the 10. And this is the workflow. The next thing you know, in the mainstream, in the basic math abacus for adults, you're going to go into this thing called a two-step equation. In abacus world, it's called a mixed formula, but I didn't like that word. I actually like two-step because two-step is very similar to algebra, right? So what we're doing is I'm trying to pave ways to go into algebra. Abacus is just a gateway to complex math. It is not here to replace anything. It's not here to replace anything. You still got to do calculus or geometry or trigonometry or algebra. You can't really do it all on the abacus. I need to learn multiplication and division. Okay, we can get into that in a little bit. So this is adding and subtracting. Oh, this is the two-step equation. After that, then we go into practice problems. So here's the mosaic, and after the mosaic, there's the word ladder, and then there is a color by number. Hello, Atomic. Thank you for the follow. And then if you're interested, I do have the questions. I do have the answers in the back of the book. And there we are. So that is what the adult version is. And then we're going to go into, okay, so here's a question. Let me get a poll going. What do you want to do now? Do we want to continue with adding and subtracting, or do you want to do something else? There's my poll. Go ahead and sign in and let me know what you guys want to do. We can either do multiplication, or we could do, oh, maybe I got to change my poll. Okay, I think I'm going to change my poll, right? Because those are two different things. I got to see what this poll looks like. Hold, please. Funny. Hello. Where's my poll? Okay, so poll on the top left. Thank you so much, Raphael. I think I'm gonna redo my poll. I think it's incorrect. Thank you for letting me know. I can pin that comment. Thank you so much. Clipboard on the countdown. Okay, maybe I gotta do this. Whew. Thank you, everybody. I'm just trying to figure this out. Thank you. You have multiplication, yes or no? I know. I think I got to change my poll. I think I'm going to change it to say, next topic. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So instead of, because this is my first time doing a poll. Like, this is my few times of doing a poll, and I think I'm going to modify it. So if you look, where is it? Come on. There's supposed to be a thing right here. Here it is. So there's the little clipboard. There's a little clipboard. Click on that. And so I think I got to redo it. Oh, you know what I need to do is, oh yeah, okay, so that's it? There's no other one? Oh, no. Okay, I gotta figure that one out. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, have a good day. Okay, have a good day. Have a good day. Copy. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen, for the question. Yeah, Inception phone with the phone. Yeah, time is running out. And then try again. Yeah, I'm going to do it again. Open WhatsApp. Okay, there we go. and then message myself forward. I don't know if that worked. Okay, so time's running out. Yeah, I'm trying to do all these different things. It's really crazy. So we have the poll, but I think, okay, yeah. So I stop it. Okay, so wait, let me do this. So we have yes or no. So what I want to do, maybe I need to create my new poll. I need to create a poll. So instead, I should do customize it. I should say, no, that's not what I want. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out this poll thing. I want to customize it. No, I want to, no. Start a new poll. Okay, there we go. So if I edit, maybe I should say next topic. The question should be next topic, next topic. There we go. Maybe that's what it is. And then I say multiplication, multiplication, and then this is more addition. Or we could say, added option, we say subtraction. Yeah. Or we could say one more. We could say two-step. Okay, we can do that. There we go. So maybe that's better. Let me do it one more time. And then we'll go into multiplication. I think that's better. Multiplication, addition, or subtraction. I think that's a better poll. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. Is that a better? I think that's a better one. Now I gotta see it. I love that movie, Inception. That was a really good movie. There we go. Okay, I think that's a better poll. Yeah? Okay, so we'll go into multiplication. This is cool. This is really cool. Okay. So thank you everybody for joining. Thank you so much for when you guys are filling out the polls. Please go ahead and keep tapping away. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. If I can get this out the door, if I can get more people, that'd be fantastic because I'm here to try to educate. No, I'm here to spread the good word of the Abacus. Thank you everybody for joining. For those of you that are just joining, let's do a little review as I wait for the poll results to come in. So for those of you that just joined, thank you so much. What we're going to do is we're going to learn how to read the Abacus. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 minus 10 and then 100. You want those to be a topic? Oh, I see. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you, applesauce. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4. This is 5. After 5, we have 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we have 10. Then after 10, we have, right? We have 1s, 10s, we have 100. After 100, we have 1,000. After 1,000, we have 10,000. I think it's already chosen. Yeah. Okay. So that is how we count, and what we're doing is we're learning how to read the Abacus, and every column is a place value. That's what it is. So we have our 1s, our 10s, 100s, 1000s, and 10,000s. It's already chosen. Thank you, applesauce. Okay. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. Please keep your mind open for something different. It's not new. It's just different.
Now open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
I really like this. You know, it's so funny. Like I feel like I'm a cool kid now because I can get the polls going. It makes sense. So thank you. There's a live goal playbook. I wonder what the play. Oh, multiplication's the winner. Now, how would I have known that multiplication's the winner? I don't know why everybody wants to do multiplication. It is crazy. It's so crazy. But we will do multiplication. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for. Hello, Dawn. Welcome back. You're just in time for multiplication. just in time for multiplication. And we're going to do it on the abacus. These are going to be super simple. I know it's super simple, but guess what? These are super simple, but I'm showing you concepts, right? So we have to keep our minds open for these concepts. And I guess, because you guys really want multiplication, I really have to make doing a multiplication workbook will be my priority. Crazy. I didn't think it was going to be that bad. I didn't think it was going to be that much. But yes, I will be making a multiplication workbook, and it will be all abacus focused. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you so much for liking the live. I appreciate that. I really appreciate if you guys can. Yeah, thank you, Geraldine. Thank you. I appreciate if you guys can continue tapping out the screen so then we can push out this live. Thank you everybody so much. Thank you everybody for your help. So our number is going to be 56. Times that by 8. Now, yes, it is very easy. I do understand this, but this is a concept we're trying to understand. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to figure out our, okay, here, I was reading this book, and what it is the abacus, what we do in abacus is we do distributive property. Distributive property means what? We take each number and we divide it out. So we go 8 times 5 and then 8 times 6. But the interesting thing about it is when we're in abacus, what we need to do is we need to analyze our question. Oh, hello, Ellie. We need to analyze the question first before we just reactively answer it, right? So what we want to do is we want to understand where is our answer going to be, and that's what will dictate whether or not we're going to put it in here. Get those lights up for the multiple learning. Thank you. So we have our ones. We are going to count. We have 1, 2, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. Notice we have 3 digits. I now know that I will have in the hundreds column. My answer will be somewhere in the hundreds column. When we look, it's going to be 5 times 8. 5 times 8 is 40, which is very different, right? Why? Because in mainstream does 50 times 8 is equal to 400. Now, what's the difference? The difference is in mainstream, you have to keep track of your place values. You need to remember that this is 400. But in abacus, we don't. It tracks our number for us. See how it says 400 for us already? We have 400. Does that make sense? So when we're looking, we understand that we have what? Every column is a place value. We don't need to worry about this extra 0 because the abacus does it for us. So what is our next question? Our next question is going to be 8 times 6. So we have 8 times 6 is equal to 48. Add the 4, add the 8, and we're done. Thank you. I don't know what it is. 1057? Thank you. I am bored again. Yes, it is 448. Yes, 448. And what did I do is I added it on my abacus. That's the answer. It's different than the mainstream because we don't need to track the extra zeros. I know I said to track the zeros, but on the abacus it does it for you. You don't have to say 400. You could just say 40, 4 and a 0. In abacus world, we only deal with 2 columns at a time, right? Thank you. Thank you, Geraldine. Let's do another one. Again, I know these are very simple. These are very, very simple. But what we're going to do is I'm just showing you how to do the concept. Because after this, we can get into something a little bit more complicated. So our next number is what? 228 times 3. But you need basic multiplication. Yes, up to tens. No, actually up to nines. Because 10 is redundant. The answer is 44. Starts with the hundreds column, correct? Yes, that is correct. Ones, 1, 2, 3. So we do it here again. So we have 1, 2, 3. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. Because it's a 6, because it's a single digit, we have to remember to make it a double digit. To make it a double digit, we have to add the 0. I have to find my piece of paper. I don't know where my paper is. I'm sorry. I need to find my paper. There it is. There it is. There it is. Yeah. So, remember. So just so you know, we have to realize that the 0 is here. So we have 1 is equal to 0, 1. 2 is equal to 0, 2. And it goes all the way down to 9. This is not a foreign concept because it's similar to our number, our time. We have, right now it's 138. But if I made this to 108, right? There's the O. If I made a 2-digit number, a 2-digit month with a 2-digit day, instead of saying May 5th, we could say, May 6th, it is 0506. So when we're looking, having a 0 in front is not a foreign concept. So when we're looking, this now changes to a 06. The reason why is because I need to push this number to the tens column. So we have a 0 and we have a 6. And then our next number is 8 times 3 is 24. So we have 20 and then we have 4. Thank you. Hello, JJ. 14. Thank you so much, Don. Amazing. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for liking my live. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I'm trying to rank up because I want to try to spread the good word of the abacus. Hello, JJ. Hello, JJ. So we have our final answer. Our answer, what number do you think this is? What is our answer? Thank you. It is, thank you, Y2 Kayla. That's funny. Y2 Kayla. Yes, thank you, Jay. It is 84, not 74. 80. 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 4. Yep. Is it? Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Right? 84. Cool? So we can do it again. We could do it again. Here we go. So you go over this one again? You want me to go over this one again? Not a problem. So let's do this one again. So we have 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Geraldine. Yeah, sometimes my brain goes into a little brain fart. So we have 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. 6 is a single digit. I go back one column. I make it a 0. I make it a 6. So I add my 6 like that. Does that make sense, Sincere? Then my next number what's my next question? Right? 3 times 8. Add the 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24. Add the 2. Add the 4. So my final answer is 84. Thank you so much for following the live. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, thank you. Let me know because I know I talk fast, right? And we can continue on. We can continue on for a couple more. For a few more. How are we doing? So we have 75 times that by, let's go, 15K. Thank you. Nice, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is crazy. This is pretty awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Luna, for checking in. For those of you that are interested, go ahead and check in the orange heart me that's like right around my head. Something like there. So, 73, right? 75 times that by 3. When we're doing, what do? We count. 1, 2, 3. So we do 1, 2, 3. We're doing very simple, right? The reason why is because I want to show you the concept. The concept you understand distributive property, then you can actually, carry it on. So we have 3 times 7. 3 times 7 is equal to 21. Add the 2, add the 1. Next is 3 times 5 is 15. Add the 1, add the 1, add the 5. 21. Yep. So we have 20. No, yeah, it's 21, but you're right. It's actually 210 if you look at it. When we do 7 times 3, it's 21. But when we look on our abacus, it's actually 210. So then we have that there. And then what do? We do our next number, which is 3 times 5 is 15. 15, that's what it would look like. And then you add it all together. 3 times 5 is equal to 15. So the answer is, yes, 225. Hello, Mikasa. Thank you, Geraldine. Can you smell the marker through This one I don't remember. Yeah. So, Mikasa, repeat. 225. That's what that is. So when we're looking, we have 2. Whenever the beads are touching this horizontal bar, it is considered counted. So we have 2, 1, 2. We have another 2, 1, 2. And then the top bead is a value of 5. The top bead is always a value of 5. So this is how you get 225. So if I did it again, we do 7 times 3. I'm sorry. How many digits are there? So what we're doing is we're analyzing our question. We need to analyze our question so we can kind of understand where we're going. We don't need to be reactive and just say answer. No. Take a look at the number and see what we're going to do. So we know that it's going to be a 3-digit answer. How do I know? Because I have 1, 2, 3. Excuse me. I know my answer is going to be in the 3 digits. 1, 2, 3. So then I do 7 times 3. That's what we do, distributive property. 7 times 3 is 21. Add the 20, add the 1. We only need to worry about our 2 columns. Right? We only need to worry about 2 columns. The only 2 columns you need to do, because this is our multiplication fact. You need to know your multiplication fact. So then afterwards we do 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15, is 1, 5. So my final answer is 225. But I don't need to do 210 because the abacus keeps track of our digit. So this is why we don't need to do 3 times 70. That's why we don't need to do 3 times 70. I can finally throw this away. Yep, step by step. It is step by step. It is completely step by step. And in the way we do abacus for multiplication, we do the same thing for division. It's all step by step. It's not grouped. It's the same thing with adding and subtracting. We go one step at a time. So when we do adding and subtracting, it is by one number at a time. It's not grouped, because I do notice in mainstream math there's a lot of grouping. Can you show us 3 times 7 on the abacus? That is what you have to memorize. You need to memorize your multiplication fact. If you really want to do 7 times 3 on the abacus, you would have to know you would have to do repeated addition. So if I did 7 plus 7 plus 7, right? Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see that. Or I would have to do 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you would have to do repeated addition. And with repeated addition, you need to know your formulas. So the formulas that we keep talking about is how to make a 5 and how to make a 10. These are the 2 fact families you need to know for hands down. If you know your fact families of how to make a 5 and how to make a 10, then you'll be set. So if I did 7 on the abacus, I want to add another 7. It is what? Plus 7 is equal to plus the 10 minus the 3, plus the 10 minus the 3. So then minus the 3 is minus the 2, minus the 5 plus the 2, minus the 5 plus the 2. And I did 7 again. So plus 7 is plus the 10 minus 3, plus the 10 minus the 3. So my final answer is 21. So that is how you would do it on the abacus. It would be repeated addition. Repeated addition. I don't even know if you can see that. Let me do that again. Repeated addition. If you were going to do it on the abacus. But you need to know your multiplication facts before you do multiplication on the abacus. Yeah. Does that make sense, DDS? Was there a specific question? Will I redo 3 times 7? What do you mean? How did I do 3 times 7? 3 times 7? So when we add it, right? We have 7 on the abacus. What is the formula to add another 7? Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What is the formula to add another 7? Please keep your mind open for something different.
Now open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
Yes, thank you, Jay. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Sincere, right? So we add the 10, but notice I cannot take away the 3, right? If I can't take away the 3, what's another way to take the 3 away? We should know this because we know how to do the minus 5. So minus, that was total recall. That was total recall. Thank you, Truth Be Unraveled. Thank you, Jay. Yes. So when we minus the 2, we have to minus the 5 plus the 2. That's how you get 14 because we do a running total, right? Then we're going to add another 7. To add another 7, what do we do? Plus the 10 minus the 3. So our final answer is 21. Usually multiplication, repeated addition should be introduced after the two-step equation. Yeah, not a problem, Sincere. But yeah, when you're introducing this, it would have to be after the two-step equation because it's the two-step equation that will block you. If you don't understand your two-step equations, then this will stop. So you have to know your two-step equation before you start going into multiplication. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Please keep your mind open for something different. Here is how we count on the abacus. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 15 because it's a 1 and the 5. These two beads are actually touching the horizontal bar. That's why this is 15. So we have 16, right? These 3 beads are touching. This is why it's 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 20. There we go. So when you're looking, we have our counting. But after you count, then you can do additive repeated addition. So it's the same thing on this side. If we have 3, we want to add a 3. To add a 3, we have no more room, right? So if we do 2 times 3, how do we do? 2 times 3 is equal to what? How do you add a 3 here? Plus the 3 is equal to plus the 5 minus 2. Plus the 5, take away the 2, right? We add another 3. 3 times 3 is what? Can you add the 3? Yes, add the 3. Why do you start in the 5th column? Because I have a label right here. This label tells me that this is my ones place. That's why. Because if you don't, because after the ones place we have our decimals. We have our ones, tenths, and hundreds. I think the reason why we do this is because the manufacturer realizes that Americans have change, and so this is where your change would go, right? So if I had $1, 25 cents, that's what that would look like. So you could, if you don't like the decimal over here, you could paint it white and then reposition the dot. But I don't, just in case I needed a decimals, right? So that's why I start from here. If you notice though, there's another marker here. This is where my tells me my thousands. So if you look at my thousands place, and that's where the comma is. So the question would be like this. So here's the question, right? 3,000, there's my comma, 456. We take it one step further. We could say 73,456. Point, right? My decimal sits between our ones and our tenths, and then we have 20 and then 5. Does that make sense, DDS? So if we changed it, that's what it'd be. 55,555.55. If I did this one, it'd be 99,999.99. All right. Whew, how are we doing? Does that make sense? Thank you so much for the comments. Thank you so much for the questions. So if the blue bead is up, if the blue bead is up, yes, exactly, Trippy. If the blue bead is up, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have the blue bead, it goes 1 plus the 5, right, is 6. 2 plus the 5 is 7. 3 plus the 5 is 8. 4 plus the 5 is now 9. Thank you, Trippy. Yes, that's a very good question. Thank you so much. Okay, Sincere. Oh, there's a comma. That's the whole explanation why there's... Yeah, yes, that's why, right? So if you choose to, hold on, Sincere. We'll get to that in a little bit. So if you notice, if you wanted to, you can actually use this as your ones place. So what does that mean? Then you would shift everything over like that. And so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then it would explain this. Because then we can get to... Where are we? Here. Nope. Here. There we go. So we have this one. We have 0.00001. Thank you. Thank you, DDS, for the question. Thank you, Trippy, right? Those comments make sense. Yeah? Are we all right? That makes okay? Okay. So, is you teaching binary? No, I'm not. I may have missed it, but what does subtraction... Hello? Yes, I love your content. Oh, thank you, Fastest Fingers. You know, I like yours too. I was binging your stuff and I was like, oh my God, that's really fantastic. Thank you, Fastest Fingers. You know what? It'd be interesting if you did Fastest Fingers on the Abacus, because then you'd be like those kids. That'd be awesome. We should do like a collab. But I'm not very fast with my fingers. When I do Abacus, I'm not very fast. I'd have to bring up my kids or something, and then there'd be like a little collab of like the Fastest Fingers and the fastest Abacus. That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. All right. So am I teaching No, I'm not teaching binary. I'm teaching Abacus. I don't have that kind of skill. I love to practice. Okay. Let's do one more multiplication and then we'll go back into addition and subtraction. Hold on. Dong. The dog. That's funny. All right. So we'll do one more. We have 50 times 5. Easy. Why? Because How many digits are we having? We have 3. 1, 2, 3. Right? Not a problem, Rick. Not a problem. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've never heard of this, but I've loved learning new stuff. Good job. Thank you, Prippy. So, thank you for joining, everybody, for joining. Please go ahead. If you can do me a favor, please tap out my screen. That would be I would appreciate that. I would appreciate if you can keep tapping, just so I can get more eyes on the good word of Abacus. I am here to show the Matrix what an abacus is.
Welcome to the real world.
Thank you, everybody, so much for your help. Thank you, everybody, so much for your help. I do appreciate it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand. I would love to learn and teach my kids. Yes, Mighty. You should. You should. We have 3 digits. We have 1, 2, 3. We are going to analyze our question. We're not just going to reactively answer it. So what we're doing is we're understanding that this answer is going to be a 3-digit number. How do I know? Because this question has 3 digits, so I know it's going to be a 3-digit number. What are we going to do? We're going to do distributive property. We have 5 times 5 is equal to 25. That's completely wrong. So we have 25. We have 1, 2, 3, right? That's what we did. 1, 2, 3. And we add 20, and then there's the 5. So my answer is 25. No. The answer is 250 because we added that 0. Don't forget, when we counted 1, 2, 3, we started 1, 2, 3. We only need to worry about 5 times 5. We do not need to worry about 50 times 5. Why? Because 50 times 5 is not part of the multiplication table. You know what I mean? So what we're doing is we're understanding our multiplication table. This becomes really relevant. This makes more sense. And then in Abacus, we don't need to worry about the positioning. We don't need to worry about the 50. We don't need to say 200. Why? Because the Abacus tracks it for us. So we have 200, 5, 50, and then the 0. Mighty, how old are your kids, if you don't mind me asking? Hello, Rick. Rick R. Deet. I don't know what that is. Rick. I just love trying to figure out like screen names. So Mighty, how old are your kids, if you don't mind me asking? I was just wondering, because it all depends on what starts what. You know what I mean? So everybody has to start on learning how to read the abacus. Learning how to read the abacus is the first thing we need to do. So for those of you that just joined, thank you so much for joining. Here's how we read the abacus. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. So 15, 14, 10, and 7. So the 7-year-old, you could start with mazes, and then 10, 14, and 15, they might be able to start off with the abacus for adults. And this is talking about how to do everything, how to add, subtract on the abacus. And then after they know how to do this, then we'll go into the next book, which is multiplication. And so the first thing we do here is you have the option to, I have it pinned. You do have the option to buy the abacus. It comes with an abacus or without. It is up to you. And so here, I'm only homeschooling the younger ones. Oh, younger, like 10? Even the 10-year-old, I think, would be able to do this. Because it's a little bit faster and it's a little bit more condensed. And so there's not a lot of practice, but the youngest one at 7, I would recommend keep going with the individual concepts. Thank you so much for the follow, Dong. So the 7-year-old, I would say, okay, it would be good to follow the concepts. So this is adding of the 5. So the first thing would be to maybe do a maze first to get them to practice how to read the abacus. I have a 3-digit maze, or I have a 4-digit maze. Where's my 4-digit maze? 4-digit mazes. So it is up to you. I need to find 4 digits. There it is. So we have a 3-digit maze, which is we're focusing on the hundreds, tens, and the ones, and then we do the thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. And depending on the ability of your child, then after this, I would go into how to make a 5. How to make a 5. After how to make a 5, then we go into how to take away the 5. Because if you know how to add, you'll know how to subtract. And then after you have to do that, you have to understand how to add the 10. Then adding the 10, because you know how to add the 10, then you have to subtract the 10. There we go. If you make a division book and multiplication, I'll buy that one too. Yes, it is in the works. I've been trying to figure out an outline on how to show and teach multiplication through the workbooks. And I do plan on having it. It's down the pipeline. But after this, I wanted to show is the 2-step equations. So that's what I'm working on right now is the 2-step equations. And so that would be the path. So if you're interested, let me know. I do have these books available. I have most of the books available in my TikTok shop. And I also sell the Abacus as well. Yeah. And there's my basic math. Yeah. That's perfect. I can't wait to buy the books and get them started. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, I had one for preschoolers, but your kids are too old for the preschool one. And so that would be the starting. And so the older one would probably do this one. And then the younger one would probably do the mazes, because the mazes help get them used to seeing the numbers on the abacus. And that's what this is. And it's just a bunch of that. And I like it because it keeps them active. And that's what we were doing in the beginning of the live. I just showed you like how to... So what it is you find what the numbers are. Let's see if I can find it. Here it goes. So here, this is the number, right? You need to know that this is 23. And then you have to find the path. And there's the path. I give you a mask maze. But you have the option to be able to download it. And you can print it on something that's thicker, which is something like this. So I print it on a file folder, right? And then you can't see what the answers are. Because I do notice that the paper is a little thin, so it's like, oh, what's that number? Instead of trying to really focus in on the number itself. And then it blocks out all the other things. That's what that does. Yep. So if you're interested, my name is Lynette. I've been teaching Abacus for about 20 years. That's all I do. I've been teaching Abacus, and we're just doing adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. For those of you that are interested, I do have my books in the TikTok shop, or over here, my name is Lynette. Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Please keep your mind open for something different.
Now open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much for the follow. Whoa, yeah, 21,000 likes. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's do some adding and subtracting. Let's do a little review on how to add and subtract. So that's where this comes in. We are going to understand, first we need to understand how to move the beads. Why? Because it's all about moving the beads. When you understand moving the beads, you're going to really understand that. Once you know how to move the beads, the answers will be displayed on the abacus for you. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, everybody. So, please keep your mind open for something different. Welcome.
Welcome to the real world.
I am here to show the matrix what an abacus is. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you so much for joining. So this is my first book that I've ever... These are all my books, but you'll see that there is a whole progression. This is my preschool book. This was meant for children that are not one. I think one is a little young. Maybe 3, 4, and 5. That's where I was getting at. And so we were just talking about the abacus and what the numbers are. And that's all it is. It's just recognizing the abacus and playing with it and getting familiar with the abacus. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then notice that this is 0. Because this is 0, thank you for showing me. Oh, yeah, not a problem, Geraldine. Not a problem. Not a problem. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it. I hope to see you in my next live if you're heading out, but I do appreciate it. yeah, and then that's the next thing is my next book will be multiplication. Yeah, so then here we are. We're just understanding how to move the beads, and then we're just recognizing what the beads are. Here's where we understand 5 to 9, and then again these are just activities on what the 9 looks like, what the 7 looks like, and what the 8 looks like, and so forth. So that's what we're doing, and then we're counting forward. After counting forward, we count backwards. After counting backwards, we figure out the relationship, what comes in between, and then what comes before and after, and then what comes before and after is talking about comparison. So then we compare. Bye. I'm hoping to hop in and see you live. Okay, see you later, Geraldine. Thank you so much for dropping by. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good evening. Have a good day. Have a good morning. Thank you so much. So then we compare. We have our bigger than, right? And less than or smaller than. So now we're going to get into some adding and subtracting. So right here we do, right? In Abacus world, we focus in on the second number. The second number is what we need to remember. The reason why is because the second number is what dictates whether or not we're going to use a formula. So in this specific one, we do not need to use a formula. If you notice, I have 7 on the abacus. I want to add the 1. Can I add the 1? Can we do it? Yes, we can. We can add the 1. So when we add the 1, all we got to do is just add the 1. There we go. Thank you, Megan. You're a great gamer. That's funny. So, for those of you that are interested, please let me know if you have any questions. Please let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if I talk too fast. Because I know I talk fast. All right. So, okay. What are we doing? Now we're going to do this. Right? We have our number, our 8. What we're going to do is we're going to divorce the result and marry the process. So why? Because we don't need to know how to make an 8. What we need to do is understand, can I add the 1? The biggest question is going to be if there's enough beads. That's what that means. So if I have 2 on the abacus, if I have 6 on the abacus, do I have enough to add the 2? These are the 2 beads. Yes, I do. I have enough to add the 2. So my final answer is 8. Right? What are we trying to do? We're trying to focus the second number. The second number is what dictates whether or not we can add or add the beads or not. Right? Or we would have to start using these things called formulas. So then here's another thing, right? We have 5 plus 3. If we have 5 and we add the 3, 1, 2, 3, you'll notice that when I add the 3, I just move it up to the horizontal bar. Now I have 8. I can now supertize. Thank you so much for liking the live. Thank you so much for liking the live. So we have 8. We could supertize. Supertizing means that you can look at the number and you know what it is. You could do that in the mainstream, right? That's kind of easy. You could do mainstream. Or you could do tally marks, which is fine too. There's no judging. I'm not here to judge. But we can scale it. On the abacus, we could scale it. So if I have 50 on the abacus and I add 30 on the abacus, now I have 80. That's a whole lot of writing. This is 80. That's a whole lot of writing. It's a whole lot of writing, a whole lot of counting. You could do the same thing. We could do 500 plus 300 is 800. You could do that too. You could do that too. But I'm just showing you how Abacus can now scale it. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. Hello. So what we're doing is we're understanding. Thank you, Homeschool. Hey, thank you, Homeschool Adventures. So we have the 4. Right? We have 5 on the abacus. We want to add the 4. We add the 4. So my final answer is 9 because there was enough beads to add the 4. If we know how to subtract, you will know how to, if you know how to add, you know how to subtract. So we have 6 on the abacus, goes to the horizontal bar. We want to take away the 1. All you got to do is take away the 1. There's nothing else to it. If you know how to add, you know how to subtract. That's all we're doing. You know how to add, we know how to subtract. Thank you everybody so much for liking the live. I appreciate that. So then we can do it again with the 2 or the 3. If I have 4 on the abacus and I take away 3, that's what I'm doing, right? It is these 3. And so my final answer is 1. And then we have 5. We have 3 on the abacus. We want to add the 5. We go to the horizontal bar. We take it away. We go away from the horizontal bar. So we add the 4, take away the 4. You know what I mean? Add the 4, take away the 4. Add the 5, take away the 5. Add the 5, take away the 5. We could do the same thing with the 6. So 6, right? I want to add 6. I have 3 on the abacus. I add 6. It is 6. 5 and 1 is equal to 6. If I want to take away, I take it away. I push it apart like that. That's all I'm doing. I add the 6, I take away the 6. I add the 6, I take away the 6. It's the same thing with the 7. If I have 9 and I take away 7, I'm pushing apart 2 bottom beads and 1 top bead. If I add the 7, I bring it back together. So now you're seeing a number pattern. We add the 7, we take away the 7. And it's the same thing with the 8. If I have 1 on the abacus, I'm going to add the 8. If I take away the 8, and I add the 8. And there we go. Dong, does that make sense? Are we okay? How are you doing? I don't know if Dong is still here. That's a little bit about adding. How are we doing? Oh, I can't wait to get the books and start my younger kids. Thank you so much for get to go. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Hello, Liz. I'm so late and so confused. You are so late. You're so late, I gotta go to the bathroom. Hello. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Hello. What are we doing? Okay. See you. Okay, see you later, Mighty. I will see you later. I'm usually on later tonight. Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock is my Pacific Standard Time. Cool. Yeah. Cool. All right. So that is 6. So 6, 5, and then 6. 5 plus 1 is 6. Oh my God. I don't know who you are. Oh, I know. Ah, I know you are. How's it going? How's it going? I just happened to drop on and they'll be like, I wonder how many people are here. And there's like 90 people here. And I'm like, this is crazy. This is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I remember you. I remember you, but I'd like to see a screen name so then I can call your name. All right. Yes. Can you do a big number? Yes, let's do a big number. Let's do a big number. Oh, you know? Yep. Here we go. Yep. Let's do a big number. Oh, okay. Lily, I'll have to try to remember that. Can you do algebra equations? No. You can't do algebra on Abacus. We're just looking at numbers. That's all it is. This is a number. 3,456. That's all we're doing. The Abacus only does numbers. If you can do a basic arithmetic on algebra, then you could do it on the Abacus. But there is no need, right? So, Kefla, Kefla, right? So we have 3,456. We have 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The top bead is always 5. The top bead will always be 5. Now we have 1, right? We have 1. When we add the 5, we have 6. There we go. So we have 15. So we have 15,784. That's what that would look like. And then if we want to take it one step further, we could do, right, 73,456.25. Definitely going to pick up this book. Oh, hey, Bear! That'd be great. Right? Does that make sense? So when we're looking front to back, side to side, left to right, up and down, right? Left to right. So if you do left to right, it depends on how you do it. So we have 3,456. You could do 6, 50, 4, 3. You could do that. Up and down, 5, 6, 1, 6, 2, 7, 3, add the 5 is 8, 4, add the 5 is 9. It is no front to back. This is the front, this is the back. That doesn't help you. You know what I mean? So it's not front to back. It's left to right or up and down. Night at the museums. I don't know that one. With the abacus? Thank you for the calculator. How do you use it to find the sum of a multi-digit number? Hold on. Sweet. So here is a multi-digit number. So we have 283. Plus, thank you, Mary Jane, for the rose. Thank you for the rose. Thank you. And then we add the 5, because we're adding 511. Add the 1, add the 1. So, what is my final answer? What is my final answer? Please let me know what my final answer is. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. 794. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lily. Yes. 700. 700, right? Because it's 5, 6, 7. 2 looks like that. That's what 2 looks like. But then we have 7, 5, 6, 7. And then we have 9, right? 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. And then we have 4. Now, what do we have? Another one. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. So, thank you, Papa Khan, for the question. Can you do one more where you carry the 1? We can do one more to carry the 1. Let me do this one, and then we will do one to carry the 1. So we have 15, 13, and then 20. So we have our answer. We have our question. We have 15 on the abacus. 1, 5. We have 13, 1, 3. And then we have the 20. Add the 2. So what's my final answer? Would have been so easier for me if I had this. Yes, I know, right, Bear? Crazy. So what's my final answer? Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, everybody. Yes, it is. It is 48. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and then 3 is 8. You know, Bear, just so you know, we're just visualizing our numbers. The fact that you can visualize your numbers, you can do so much. And it's just crazy. Thank you, Mary Jane, for the gifts. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mary Jane. I appreciate that. Can you demonstrate a multiplication factor? I can, but let me go back to where do I happen to when I carry the 1. So that's one of the things. If we can put a off-duty alibi, let's put a pin in that, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah. So, for those of you that are interested in carrying, that's what this comes into effect. We're going to be adding a 10. We got to make a 10. That's making a 10 is like carrying over. So in the abacus world, we call it plus the 10 or big friends, little friends, or whatever. But in abacus world, I'm trying to relate abacus to mainstream. This is what we do when we carry over. Carrying over means 10, right? True. I never passed algebra because I couldn't visualize on how it works. Yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy. But yeah, once you understand how to visualize the numbers, I think you'll be able to do algebra because numbers in arithmetic relates to it. You'll see what I mean. So we have 10, right? We know this is 9, this is 10. 1, 0. That's what 10 is. What does 10 mean? 10 means we're going to push the 1 to the next column over. So if you look, this is 1 and this is 0. So now here is the question. Let's do number 8. We're going to add 8. We're not going to memorize our answers. We're not going to memorize the answers in the different fact families. That's not what we're going to do. I learned to let go. I see the math answers, so I visualize what you're teaching. Yes. Yeah, it's one of those things, Mary Jane. It is very different than mainstream, and I know this. So mainstream, they say you need to memorize or whatever. In abacus, we don't memorize 8 plus 8. What we do is we're going to understand how to make a 10 with this 8. So on my abacus, I have 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? I'm going to get these blocks because the blocks might help. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Hello, everybody. Hello. So I want to add another 8. But guess what? I know that I can make a 10 out of this 8. But to do this second 8, right? That's what the second 8. This is the top 8. This is the second 8. To do this, what do? We have to make a 10 out of it. We can make a 10 out of it. We got to get the 2 from somewhere. We got to get the 2 from the previous number. So we have to take away this 2 from this 8. Take away 2 from here. And we add it to this bottom one. Now we've made a 10. Now we've made a 10. So even though we had to subtract, to add.
If you're going hard enough left, you'll find yourself turning right.
Oh, right. That makes perfect sense. Turn right to go left.
Does that make sense? We can do it again. We can do it again. If I have 7 on the abacus, right? 5, 6, 7. I have 8. My question is what? 7 plus 8. Here's my 7. 7 on the abacus. Here's 8. To make 10, we go top down. We don't go up and down, right? We don't need to say 7 here is equal to 10. No, no, no. We need to make the bottom number equal to 10. How do we do that? We know 2 plus 8 is equal to 10. We know this. We know this fact family. We need to make a 2. The 2 has to come from somewhere. This is my 8. The 2 has to come from somewhere. It has to come from my previous number. Take away the 2. Take away the 2. And I add it to my 8. I've made a 10. I make a 10. So when I bring it together, it is 15. We can do it again. If I have 7, I don't want to do 18. I want to do 9. We'll do 9. Right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? There's my 9. 9. I want to add 7. 5, 6, 7. I know I can make a 10 out of the 7 because there's not enough beads to add 7 here. So I know I'm going to carry over. I have to do what? I need to add 3 to make a 10. 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. We need 3 from somewhere. 3 has to come from the 9. 1, 2, 3. So you have to take away from the 9 and add it to the 7. I have now made a 10. So when you see it, it is 10 and 6. Thank you, Donald, for the share. So minus the 3 plus the 10. So my final answer is 16.
If you're going hard enough left, you'll find yourself turning right.
Oh, right. That makes perfect sense. Turn right to go left.
We can do it again. The concept is still the same. But remember, we go from top down. Even if I have 8 in the top and we have 4. We have 8 on the top and we have 4. There's my 8. I have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess what? To make a 4, to make a 10 with a 4, I have to add a 6. The 6 has to come from somewhere. The 6 has to come from the 8. I have 8. The 6 has to come from somewhere. This is what 6 is, right? This is what 6 is. So I do what? Take away the 6 and I add it to my 4. I take away the 6 and I add the 10. So my final answer is 12. I see the answer right here, 12. 1, 2. Anytime the beads are touching this horizontal bar, they're being counted. This is 2, 1, 2. This is 1. 1 in the tens column, 2 in the ones column. How does this next leg make 10? This makes 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm not sure, O'Hillian, what you're talking about. Make sense? So we can do it again. If I have 7 on the abacus, 7 on the abacus. Here's 7. Right? 5, 6, 7. Trying to, oh, you just started. I see. There we go. So you notice, so let's do a little review. We have the ones place. There's a dot right here. This tells me the ones place. So we have our ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. 9. 10. That's what 10 looks like. 10 is a 1 and a 0. This is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, right? 5, 2 is 7, 18, 5 and 3 is 18, 19. How do I get 19? 19 is a 1 and a 9. Thank you, everybody. Does that make sense? Hillian? Hillian? For those of you that are enjoying this, please tap this out. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Julio. So, Lena, are you asking for a negative number? Thank you. Thank you for the follow. So we'll do it again. We have 8 on the abacus. We have 8 on the abacus, right? Did I do this one? Yeah, I did this one. We have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What do? We take away the 6 from this because we want to make a 10 out of this. Thank you, Organic Lotus Mama, right? So what do? We have to make a 10 out of the 4. We go top down. We don't make a 10 on the 8. We make a 10 on the 4. So we take away the 6 from the 8 and we add it to the 4. So we take away 6 from the 8 and we add 10. So my final answer is 12. Just like...
If you're going hard enough left, you'll find yourself turning right.
Oh, right. That makes perfect sense. Turn right to go left.
Good. See, this is for Julio.
Oh, I can see everything.
We can do it again. Let's do 8. We do 8 on the abacus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? We want to add 5, right? We want to add 5. Here's my 5. Guess what? 5 plus 5 is a 10. 5 plus 5 is a 10. So we do what? We have to take away the 5 from the 8. Take away 5 from the 8. And now we've made a 10. Now we made a 10. So my final answer is 15. I'm sorry, 13. My final answer is 13. Lena, I don't know what you're talking about. 7 minutes, 1 and 6. I don't know what you're talking about at all. So this is about carrying over. I don't know if Papa Khan is still here. Does that make sense? So we could do it again. We could do 6, right? 6 on the abacus, and then we add the 5. Can you drop? So, can you equal to 10? Yes, that's what we did. So we have If I did this, this would not be equal to 10. To make another 10, I'd have to minus the 5 plus the 1, plus the 10. So if I had this 5, to make a 5, I have to add it to this one. So I have to subtract it to make that 10. Same thing with the 6. If I had 6 plus 5, right? 6 plus 5. I have to take the 5 from the 6 to make my 10. So my final answer is 11. It's this. This is what you want to do, is you want to make 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. This is where you want to go. This specific book is available here. So what we're doing is we're working on how to make a 10. Thank you, little. And so if we did 6, six is not a lot. Why? Because there's always 4. So we have 4 on the abacus. To add a 6, what do? We have to take away the 4 and then add it to the 6. Take away the 4, add the 6. Final answer is 10. How big can you do? I can do all. Okay, let's do this. But see, the thing is it doesn't help if you don't know the formulas. You need to know the formulas. If you don't know the formulas, then there's no point for me to go on. You know what I mean? That's why when I talk about it, you need to understand the formulas. So here's the question. Four, 5, 5. So here's a question. Julio, can we add the 3? To add the 3, what do? Adding the 3 is plus the 5 minus 2. Plus the 5 minus the 2. We want to add the 9. Adding the 9 is what? Plus the 9 is equal to plus the 10 minus 1. So I plus the 10, I take away the 1. To minus the 1 is minus the 5 plus the 4. Minus the 5 plus the 4. We want to plus the 5. Plus the 5 is equal to plus the 10 minus 5. Plus the 10 minus the 5. Plus the 10. Plus the 10 is what? Plus the 1 is equal to plus the 5 plus minus 4. So plus the 5 minus the 4. So my final answer is 850. That's the big number. There was a lot in there because there was a lot of two-step equations. And if you don't know your formulas, then it'd be difficult to figure out what the answers are. But the biggest thing is understanding your formulas. Once you understand your formulas, then you'll be able to do this. Not a problem. But you have to know your formulas. If you don't know your formulas, you'd get stuck. There's more formulas involved. Yeah, not a problem, Julio. It was. Yeah. See, because there was two-step equations. This two-step equations was right here. There's one step here, because these two are connected, and then this one was connected to this one. So there was two-step equations. Can you do multiplication on the right? Yes. Yes, we can. Let's put a pin in that. Hold on. Can you do the same way, but take away from... Yes, okay, so take away from 5, 5 to get... Okay, wait. I'm sorry. Can you rewrite the question? Can you take away... Same, but take away from 5, 5 to get 95? What? How do you do ones, tens, thousands, hundreds? MSC, can you rewrite that question? Like, just tell me what the question is. We can do it. So when we're looking, Caden, every column is a question. Every column is a place value. We have our ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How do you do millions? Millions, you'd have to get a bigger abacus. Here's my millions. Because size matters. If you want millions, you gotta get something that can handle it. Right? You gotta get something to handle it. And I choose this one to be my ones place. Ones, thousands, millions. So that would be 1 million. 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, 7 million, 8 million, 9 million. Yeah, you like that, Mary Jane? MSC. Thank you, Andre. MSC, what was your question? Take away from 55. I don't know what that means. Take away what to get 90, I don't know, to 400. So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to say 400? I'm sorry, 400 plus 395? Is that what you're asking? So if we did 400 plus 3, plus the 3 is plus the 5 minus the 2, plus 9 plus 5. All right. Yeah, I don't know, MSC, your question. So somebody was talking about multiplication. Okay, let's do some multiplication. You know, if you want multiplication, I would really appreciate if we can get to 30,000. But before we do that, I need to go to the bathroom. I've been on for a little bit. So while you guys are waiting, if you can tap it out to, if you can tap that out, I'd really appreciate it. I'd really appreciate it. But I will be right back. I'm going to head to the, does that make sense? No. Yes. Hold, please. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Okay, cool. That was cool. All right. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for tapping it out till we get 30,000 while I get myself ready for multiplication. But MSC, I don't think I answered your question. Did you want to rewrite the question so I can understand it? Okay, so while we're waiting for that, I'm going to get ready for multiplication. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for tapping it out. That's all I'm asking, just to tap it out, just so we can get to 30,000. 30,000, please. Okay, we got that. We got that. Oh, we need this. We need to get this. Yep. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Would 10 beads in the column be a good increment? Off-duty alibi? Really? 50... That's not 4, 5, 5 minus 5, 5. That's not right. Why? Because all we got to do is 455 take away 55. That's all we're doing. Would 10 beads a column be a good increment? You would have to modify that. Andre, you would have to modify that. To modify, we'll get to that. You need to do some modification.
You need modification! Modify! Modify!
So here is what I would do. If you had a 10 bead abacus, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it goes across like this, right? I understand. So what I would do is I would tape 5 beads like this. So then I'd have these loose beads like that. I'd tape it again to get that. Does that make sense, Andre? So when we're looking, you would move it to something like this. And then you would have, it would mimic. So if I had my string of some sort, oh yeah, here we go. If I have string, then it would mimic the soroban, like this. Thank you everybody. Thank you everybody for tapping it out. Right? So we would have 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9. Oh no, this would be ignored. Does that make sense, Andre? Marco? So I would modify it. That's what I would do. So then this would be 10, right? This would be 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And then you would ignore these two. Thank you so much for the share. Almost there, people. Almost there. Thank you, Jay. Oh, yeah. Not a problem, Jay. Thank you so much. Almost there. We're at almost 30,000. And then we can... I still got to get ready for multiplication. We're going to do multiplication. So please tap to 30,000 and I will get to multiplication while you guys are waiting for me to prepare. Yeah, useful to modify. Would it be useful to it would be more useful to modify if you're looking to, or you can buy, it's up to you. I think the modification would be just as sufficient, but you gotta change it as well. If that makes sense. Thank you everybody. Woo, we're almost there. So it is up to you. It might be nice because the kids can see that this is 5. You know what I mean? This is 5. But if you're looking for speed, then I would transition to a soroban. Right? Because it is kind of nice to be able to see that this is 5. Like that. And then if you look, then when they understand that this is 5, then you could just use the abacus. 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. There are some people that do modify in the interim, and then they go into the actual soroban. A soroban is what we're doing. A soroban, this is how you spell it. Soroban. That's what soroban is. J. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody liking the live to 30,000. And then we'll get into some multiplication. I do appreciate it because I do want to... I'm still trying to figure out how to get that ranking up. Okay. So, we have our question. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. We're almost there. We have 32 times that by 9. Yeah, thank you, Mary. Yes, thank you, Mary Jane. This is a soroban abacus. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. And so, what we're doing in Abacus World, we are doing multiplication. Multiplication, what we do is we do distributive property. Distributive property means what? Distributive property means it's a math rule. We break numbers into smaller parts. So, and then we multiply the parts separately. So, thank you everybody for liking. Thank you so much for liking. So we have, right, our distributive property. But before we do that, we need to count our numbers. When we count our numbers, we need to understand how many digits are in our question. When we do that, thank you so much for liking it. We got 30,000. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. So we have to figure out why. Because if we do that, then the abacus can track our answer. We have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do 9 times 3. 9 times 3 is 27. I add 2. I add 7. That's all I'm doing. I only need to memorize my multiplication table. That's all I need to do. That's all I need to do, right? And don't forget, I don't need to say 9 times 30. I don't need to say 9 times 30 because the abacus tracks it for me. If you notice, it already says 270. 270. And then what are we going to do? We're going to do 9 times 2. 9 times 2 is equal to 18. Add the 1, add the 8. So my final answer is 200. What's my final answer? You would work the 10 with 10. 9 minus 1 would be better than 4. It'd be fun. Man, I don't understand this. Mel, did you just join? Caden. Yes, thank you. Off duty. It is 288. I feel like a genius. Okay, Andre, you use working with 10. Yes. 9 minus 1 would be better than 5 minus 4, 1 increments. You could minus the 10. You could minus the 10 is minus the minus 1 minus 9. You could. It's just another way. That is not how we teach abacus, but you could do that. And that just means you have a stronger sense of numbers. And if that's the case, then go do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's fantastic. Some people don't see it that way. Some people need to know that we have this. You know what I mean? This is our math fact. Our math fact is 1 plus 9 is equal to 10. Right? And so, yeah, no, I understand. So 9 to 4, 4 to 1. I'm being spun in directions. Okay, I don't know what's going on. What's the limit of the abacus? The abacus only does adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. Can it do square roots? You can do square roots, but really it's in your head. The abacus only shows you what the number is. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you could do 9 minus 1. You could do it, but it's just another strategy. Right? Because if we did, because even if we did this, right? We did 4039 minus 571. We could do that. And you could take away your 9 like you do, but that's a different formula. I would have to really think about it. But like for me, this is what I would do. And I would take away the 1. When I minus the 1 is equal to minus the 10 plus the 9. I just know this. So it's minus the 10 plus the 9. And then I want to take away the 5. Minus the 5 is what? Minus the 5 is minus the 10 plus the 5. So minus the 10 plus the 5. And then we would do 9. So 9, we take away the 7, you just take away the 7. So I understand you want to minus the 1, but how do you do the whole thing, Andre? So if you did 8, would you minus the 1? Is there a pattern? What would be the pattern? Or is that only for adding of the 9, taking away the 9? That's a very interesting question. So thank you, Mary Jane. So your question here is, if you did 10, you did mine minus 1, which is fine. Now the question is, what does this whole system look like? Because in my system, I can scale it. This is the only thing I have to memorize. How to make a 5, how to make a 10. It is it would combine 2 columns of 5. Can you do negative? You would have to flip it, just like how you do. To do negative is exactly the same how you do it on paper. 10 divided by 10 is divided 10 bead. 10 is a divided bead from the 9 from the others. Yeah? It is effective. It would combine, yeah. You know, funny, my kid did that. So how how he did it was, instead of adding the 10, he would add the 5. You could do that too. And it would be less for you to memorize. You could do it. It's just more steps. That's all. Yep. No, I know. You, instead of separating the 5. Yeah, no, I understand. Because my kid actually thought of that when he started learning Abacus. And I'm like, that's brilliant. And then you'd only need to like memorize 4 different things. You could do that. That's not a problem. But you would have to, you would have to internalize that. And he was able to do it. So it is possible. Yeah, no. I think for us, what I'm trying to show is just that Abacus only shows you the number. And because you can see the number, you can do what we're talking about. You know what I mean? So I'm just showing you a method the way we do in Abacus. That's all. But you would have to really, I mean, if I think about how my kid did it, it would take some time to really remember how he did it. But I understand what you do. New here, what is an Abacus? Yeah. I taught my kids delighted they thought independently as your child did. Yeah. Yeah. I if they can think independently, that's fine. That's great. But I still kept through, this is what we did and this is how we did it. And if they can do it a different way and more efficient for them, then that's fine too. It's just like going from left to right or right to left. If they can do it one way than the other, that's fine too. Because math is really just about understanding of numbers. But see, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that we don't memorize a cheek ton of things. So one thing is, in Abacus, in mainstream, I have to find my paper. So in the difference is what in mainstream. Let's say we talk about we take away, right? When we take away, what happens in mainstream? Well, mainstream, you got to take this away, right? Make this a 1. And then we have to change this to a 13. And then you memorize that 9 and 4 is a pair. You have to memorize this. But in Abacus, you don't. You just need to remember that minus the 9 is equal to minus the 10 plus the 4. Plus the 1. That's all you have to memorize, right? So then what? My final answer is 4. But then you do it again. You have to memorize this. Why? Because if you need to take away the 9, this becomes 2, this becomes 15. So it's 15, you have to memorize 9 plus 6 is equal to 15. You have to memorize that. It would irritate the teachers to have an extra skill. It would be difficult for the teachers just because there's 30 kids. Obviously, it'd be different because you have 1 or 2 or 3 children. And if they go through that same path, then that's fine. But if you have 30 kids thinking about it, it's hard and it takes a lot of energy to keep up. I mean, look at all the comments. There's a ton of comments here. I can't keep up with all the comments, even if I had a mod. You know what I mean? Can you do... Hold on, Christopher. Just use a calculator? No. Don't use a calculator, right? No, I understand. But I let my kid do it because I knew Abacus, and I'm okay with my child to do it. But if you're following a whole class, it is hard to keep track of everything. So just like this, right? You could memorize, but that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is I want you to understand that if I want to add the 9, all I got to do is minus the 9 is equal to minus the 10 plus the 1. So yeah, and you can modify this if you knew the concept of if you knew the concept of the abacus. That's fine too. But I'm just showing you one way and doing it through the abacus. I like the skill. One-on-one with your child is cool. Thank you. Calculators don't show work. Yes, you're right. Calculators don't show work. And that's the thing, right? And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to I'm trying to show a different way of thinking. Because in mainstream, we have to minus 7, right? And this becomes 16. So you have to memorize that 9 plus 7 is equal to 16. But in Abacus, we just do minus the 9. Minus the 9 is equal to minus the 10 plus the 1. So if I show you on the Abacus, I have 86 on the Abacus. I take away the 5, right? We go from left to right, and then I take away the 9. Take away the 9 is what? Minus the 10 plus the 1. So my final answer is 27. You offer options for mathematical knowledge. Yes, thank you, Mary Jane. Yes, exactly. And it's great. Andre was able to think about the changing it to a 5. And that's great, but not everybody sees that. You know what I mean? So I don't want to push something that not everybody sees. Everybody can see how to make a 10. You know what I mean? And it was easy for me to explain it. And if you have that extra step, then go right ahead. That's fine too. Where do we get an abacus? Oh, we can get an abacus in my TikTok shop. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. We're just going on a little bit of a thing. So yes, you can get the 7-column abacus if you're interested. I do have this available in my TikTok shop, or a 13-column abacus if it's for you or a child that's older, or if you think that the colors is too overwhelming. Because the colors do get overwhelming, but the colors mean nothing. Hey, Vinters, welcome. Hello, Vinters. Hello, hello, hello. I'm happy you joined. Thank you so much for dropping by. Okay, so Christopher, I did a question. I can do another one. I can do one that's a little bit easier. An abacus is a counting tool. Yep, an abacus is a counting tool. Right? And that's all it is. It just shows you how to read the abacus. That's all it does. So we can do a very simple one. Oh, you know what I should do is put it on this. There we go. There we go. So, very simple. In mainstream, they're getting the kids to memorize. So we do 1 and then 8. That's what 8 would look like. But if we did 2, right? 2 and then there's 7. 7 would look like that. 5 and 2 is equal to 7. And then we have 3 plus the 6 is equal to 9. We have 4 in the abacus. We add the 5. So we don't need to memorize how to make a 9. Yeah. Okay, I think I got all of the questions. How are we doing? Okay, this, yeah. So, happy, is this for you or for your child? Is the abacus for you or for your child? And if it's for your child, how old is your child? Vinters, I don't know if Vinters is here. Did you see that I have the abacus for adults? But you're already past that. I don't know if Vinters is still here. Did I show you this? You always do the make a 5 and make it a 10. But do to each. I'm not sure how the integers are being represented. I guess it's a better question. Oh, okay. See, I see, Christopher. So, when we're looking at it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. My post cut off. Huh? That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anytime the beads are touching this horizontal bar, does it matter? It kind of does. There is a label right here. That label is telling me my ones place. So when we're looking, we have our place value. If I can find my paper. Oh, here it is. Oh, here it is. So there we go. So it would be 1 in the ones, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have, 5. That's 5. I'm sorry, that's 5. 6. 1 plus 5 is 6. 7. 2. 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. 3. 1, 2, 3 plus 5 is 8. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 5 is 9. And then that's 10. 1 and a 0. You always make a 5, make a 10, but do to each. Okay, my post got cut off. Yeah. So the decimals, yes, exactly. So the ones is here. Because the ones is here, we have our decimal here, then our tenths and our hundredths. You'll notice that this is a comma. So we can do our thousands. Notice there's a comma here. This is my indicator to tell me that this is the thousands. So we have 3,456. We can do it again. We can do 73,456.25. And then what happened is if we did this, it would be 55,555.55. So, Happy, was this for you or for your child? I'm not sure if I was able to answer that. Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. Please keep your mind open for something different.
Now open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
Oh, so Happy, can I ask how old your child is? Because it depends on the age of the child to explain, not explain, but to let you know what I have. You know what I mean? Because if you have a baby, if your child is 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, then I have this. Okay, so then I would recommend, if you're interested, I would recommend the mazes. The mazes would be a little bit more appropriate for your 5-year-old, 7-year-old. You could start with a 4-digit maze, or you could do a 3-digit maze. The 4-digit maze is talking about 4 digits, which is the thousands, the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. And what we do is we try to figure out what the number is, and then you find the path. There is a mask maze, so you can cover the answers. That's what we want to do. The reason why is because it's easy to see what the numbers are. Here we go, max maze. I would you have the opportunity to print it out on a thicker piece of paper, and then you can actually utilize that to be able to cover it in. Because the paper that is in the book is a little thin, so I would download it to like this is a file folder. And so this file folder helps me cover the answers. And then you just have to figure out what the number is. So then, after you figure out what the number is, you find the path, and you take it to the to the end. I just colored in yellow because those are the ones that are not the right path. The right path is the purple ones. And that's just me being just making it look prettier. I do have answers in the back of the book for for everything. For all my books, I have a back of the book. These are my Abacus workbooks, and then I do provide another way of doing a maze, which is what I call a reverse maze. The reverse maze is I give you the number, I give you the path, and you have to color in what the number is on the Abacus. So that's where it would be. So for maybe the 5-year-old can either do a 2-digit number or a 3-digit puzzle maze. The reason why I would recommend this is because I want them to really understand how to read the Abacus. Once they understand how to read the Abacus, then they can go into understanding how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. So they would go into adding of the 5, then you go into minus the 5. So this would be the 5 and the 7-year-old. So these would be the path, right? So you add the 5, you add the 5 minus the 5, add the 10 minus the 10. But then, because you have a 10-year-old, you might want to try the Abacus to Adults, Abacus Introduction to Abacus for Adults. You might want to try that one for your 10-year-old. Because your 10-year-old should be able to do certain things. This one, these books that I have here, these are more for practice to get to the point where they can become automatic. So I give you a lot more pages and a lot more questions and activities so the kids can practice their numbers of how to make a 10 and how to subtract the 10, and then how to add the 5 and how to subtract the 5. That's the difference. And so then this one is I would recommend for your 10-year-old because they're older, so you would have to push them along a little bit quicker. This is more of a summary, and it works exactly the same. You have your bead recognition, right? After your bead recognition, then you would go into understanding how to do the 4 digits, and I do give you the reverse maze, and then you start going into adding and subtracting. You add on the abacus, you subtract, and I give you sample questions or example questions, and then I give you activities. So the activities of the pixel art. So this is a, oh, this is the, yeah. So this is my flip through on the introduction to abacus for adults. So we have how to make a 5, and then how to minus the 5, and then I give you example questions and try to write out the formula so you can practice what the formula is, and then we have the summary, how to make a 5 and how to subtract the 5, and then we have adding the 10. After you add the 10, you subtract the 10. We start going into multiplication, and then we subtract the 10. And there's color by number. So these are all the activities in the introduction to abacus for adults. And then there's a little workflow. The workflow is to figure out if you have enough beads. If you don't, then you use the 5. If you cannot, then you use the 10. So the idea of the workflow is to get you a guideline on how things work. And then what I call is a 2-step equation. After the 2-step equation, then you have activities. You have a puzzles, and then you answer the question, and then you have to cut out the puzzle piece and then figure out your puzzles. You have the ability to write the formula on the side, and then we start going to multiplication again. Multiplication here is still, again, repeated addition. And we only start these ones because we have to understand how to do a 2-step equation. And then after that, we have more activities. There's the mosaic, there's the hidden words, there is the word ladder, and color by number. And that's it. So that's my book. And then if you're ever interested, I do have answers in the back of the book. And that's it. Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. All right. There we go. So I hope that made sense. Happy? Thank you, Christopher. Okay. Oh yeah, not a problem. Thank you. Let me know if you have any more questions. But that would be the path of the path for the kids. And let me know if you need me to repeat those paths again. I got to figure out a better way to explain it. Because I can't do product. I cannot do product. I can do product sets, I guess, but I did create a bundle, but right now my bundles are not available. Yeah. All right. How are we doing? Okay. So thank you everybody for joining. For those of you that are interested, thank you so much for joining. My name is Lynette. I've been teaching abacus for about 20 years. And what we could do is we could do a little review on how to read the abacus. So we have, on the abacus, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. After 5, we have 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. 10 is a 1 and a 0. Oh, excuse me. Whoa, sorry. Okay. How are we doing? Wow, that one had a lot of videos. See, I don't like to do more complex videos. You know what I mean? Like this one right here, multiplying by 10, multiplying 51 by 51, people get confused. People get confused. That's why I don't like doing them. I would rather have them, you know, here. Okay. Anyways, sorry. So, how are we doing? We can continue on with figuring out this number. So I don't know if I did this. I don't know if you guys were here for this. So we have 3,456. We have 3,000. That's what 3,000. Because this is my thousands. We have 456. But you know what? If I choose this to be my ones place, I can actually choose this to be my ones place. So if this is my ones place, I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. We can do 10 like that. So if that's the case, then I can actually make a really, really small number. I could do 0.001. 0.00001. There we go. That's what that would look like. Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. For those of you who are interested, please keep your mind open for something different.
Now open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
Whew. How are we doing? We're all right? We've been on for a little bit. Anybody have any questions? Okay, so, and then so if I change it back to here, so it's like a Pokemon, right? You got to choose one.
Okay, Charizard, I choose you!
Okay, how's that? What? This is ridiculous. I think I got to get a better computer. Audio general. How do you do it? Okay, see you later, Mary Jane. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you all in my next live. I'll see you in my next live. Thank you so much for joining. I don't know if that worked. Oh, good. Did that work? No, that didn't work. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to have to end my live. Nope. Hold on. Effects? Nope. General setting. There we go. Okay. Hold on. Hold on, Vinters. Okay, so that's working. Hold on. Nope. There we go. Okay. Apply. All right. That's not right. Hold, please. There we go. Oh, my gosh. Did that work? Nope. Now it's stuck. Hold, please. I will get to it. I got to delete. I gotta delete. Reset. Can we reset? Nope. Okay. Cancel. Hold. There we go. Let me delete this. And we gotta add a new one. Nope. There we go. There we go. No. Okay. So, okay, 13 minus 6. Oh, you know what? 13 minus 6. In my book, 13 minus 6. Wait, 13 minus 6. There we go. So, I can do 14, but I can do 13. So in here, we do 13. We have 13, right, minus 6. Minus 6 is what? Minus the 10 plus the 4. So we're going to minus the 10, and we need to add the 4. To add the 4, what? We need to plus the 4. To add the 4, how do we do that? It's plus the 5 minus the 1. So we plus the 5, and we take away the 1. So my final answer is 17. Or 7. My final answer is 7. Easy. Thank you. It took a while to figure out how to explain it and to write it into a book. but that's the book. And then I give you, and then I try to do it step by step. So the first thing you need to do, right? And you add the 4. But when you add the 4, you need to let me know how to do that. You make me feel so dumb. No! I have 20 years under my belt. You've only had how many 3 months? 2 months? I'm like, duh. Well, how many months is it? It's only been a few months. But yeah, I mean, I've got 20 years of this. So even 13, right? So even 12, even 14. We can do it again. Take away the 6 is what? Minus the 10 plus the 4. Cannot add the 4. So what do? Well, here it is. We've already done this. This is how it's connected. We want to plus the 4. So what do? We minus the 5 plus the 1. So we plus the 5 minus the 1. How can it be 20 years? No. I'm actually older than you, I believe. I believe I'm older. Yeah. I started at 30. Yep, I started at 30. My oldest kid is 18. And I did not have a child at 2. No, I'm older. See? I'm older. I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. Thank you, Wanderer, who thinks. Oh, good. I'm so happy you followed, because this is a thinking thing. We're trying to make sure we don't rot our brains. So, you look 30. It's the filters. I have filters on. That's the beauty about filters. All right. So yeah, this is the new book. That's the new book. I'm really excited. So it goes to the 2-step equations, and then you go into more practice on the 2-step equations. I give you the opportunity to write out the formulas just in case. But you know, the one thing I do notice that is if you can say out your formulas, it would help you. And then you practice 1, you talk about it, and then 2, it doesn't just stick in your head. Oh, hey! Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I do finally have it in stock. And so it finally came in. And of course, there's answers in the back. I do think you're going to like the word ladder. I have the word ladder. I have a mosaic. I have the addition maze. There's a subtraction, hidden word subtraction. And then, but these are only 2 lines. I think the next book will be multiplication. Yeah, the next book will be multiplication for adults. And for kids. And then again, my answers are in the back of the book. There we go. Yeah, it took a little bit. And I was trying to get you guys to do like a cumulative property, right? So that's why there's the 2. There's the one way and then the other way. So the idea was try to do it, left to right, right to left, and backwards and forwards. Yeah. And then I have answers. Hopefully it makes sense. Whew. But yeah, this was packed. This was packed. But it goes all the way to the 2-step equations. Yeah, I'm really excited for this book. So the next book is, yeah, and then there's the pixel art. The pixel art's kind of fun. Let me know what you think it is. But you get to choose your own color key. Oh, match the... there's a typo in there. I see a typo. Anyways, so we talk a little bit about the mazes. There we go. Yeah. Oh, and then there's this. I know you don't need it, but I do provide the place value card, just like how I have my place value card. Where's my place value card? You know my place value card. I can't find it. I gotta find it. I can't find it. I don't know what happened to it. So that's what this is. And so you can have the ones. That's what the ones. And I try to line it up. So this is the ones, tens, hundred, thousands. And then how can you lose that? Yeah. It's somewhere around here. But it's because I have all these papers that I always like mess around with. Oh, here it is. See. So just like I have it here, but I added extra columns, so you can choose either this will be your ones or this will be your ones. So then it should line up. See that? So you have your ones, your tenths, your hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and then the 100,000s. Or if you choose this one to be your ones, then you move it to like this, and you can see this will be your decimal. Yeah. And then we have our ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and then 10,000s. Yeah. Thank you. Because everybody kept asking for this, and I'm like, okay, I'll put it in the book. So, but yeah, I am planning to raise the prices on this, raise the price on this book. So just so you know, for those of you that are interested, buy now before I raise the price. I was gonna raise the price at the end of the end of the month. I wonder if you can make a clip that clips. I wonder if you can make something that clips to the abacus. Yeah, I don't know. I would have to figure that one out. Because I was thinking about something to add it to it. I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to figure that one out. Because I think you could. Oh, you know what? Because I add the backing to it. Yeah. Yeah, that's a thought. As an Asian, I had to learn how to use this as a child. It's so helpful once you learned it, though. Yeah, yeah. And you know what I've noticed as an Asian? A lot of the Asians don't teach their children. That's what I've noticed. I ask a bunch of my friends that are in my school, the school that my kids are going to, and some of them know the abacus. And I ask them if they teach their kids, and they're like, no. And I'm like, why not? I don't know. Even funny. My mother-in-law knows how to use an abacus, but she never taught her son, which is my husband. And I don't know why. I don't know why Asians don't teach. Yeah, it's really quite interesting. But my kids know. I force them to. Yeah. So, yeah, to clip it on, I'll have to think about that one. So, Truist MF, do you know how to multiply and divide on the abacus? That's so funny. I had it drilled into me. Yeah. Yeah. I did drill it to my kids. But now I'm at a different stage in my life. I don't think I would have drilled it, but I think I'd still make them do it. Yeah, I'd definitely make them do it. But do you know how to do multiplication and division on the abacus? And here's another question. When you did it, was it a 1 and 4? Truist MF? So if the prices go up, where's the easiest to buy everything? TikTok shop. TikTok shop is still the easiest. Because in the TikTok shop, I also give you you have the option to buy the abacus as well. Very handy. Hello. Oh yeah. Yeah, not a problem. Very handy. 3D print something to clip on. Yeah, I would have to figure that one out. Because there is a backing to it. There is a space for the back. So if I did this, you could put something here to clip onto it. It is possible. I just got to think about it some more. Right? So that's what it looks like. Yeah. I believe 2 and 5. Oh, that's interesting. Then that means it's a different way. Because you didn't have to do formulas then, right? Somebody was telling me about it, and they did the Chinese abacus. This is a Japanese abacus. So the Chinese abacus is this one. So we have 2 beads on the top, 5 beads on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because you have 5, you're going to trade that into the top part. And then we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because you have this, you're going to trade that into here. And then you trade this into here. Right? Okay, it was great seeing you. Yeah! Thank you so... Oh! Keep up the good fight. Thank you so much, Winters. Thank you so much. No formulas. But I know some of the 1s and the 4s. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard that there was a lot more counting up. But the Japanese have actually made it more efficient and more... it made it more efficient. And so they do 2 sets of formulas. One is to how to make a 10, and then the other one is how to make a 5. If you know your math facts of how to make a 5 and how to make a 10, then it will be easy for you to do the Japanese abacus. But yeah, I have to figure out that whole clippy thingy. Yeah, I could see that. Maybe it'd be a paperclip. Hello, Rum. Thank you. I've never used... You help me understand. Oh, good! Oh, good. You're not a troll. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out this whole clipping thingy. So, anyways, so when we're counting, we do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. The top bit is a value of 5. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. That's what 10 looks like. 10, and then we have 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15. There we go. So when we're looking, what? Here we go. We know how to add and subtract. We have 6. On the abacus, we have 6. All we got to do is take away 1. If we can take away the 1, we just take away that 1. That's all we're doing. Yeah, now I'm really like thinking about it. Maybe I can add something to the backing like this. I'd still be out of paper. Excuse me. No, I'm not. And ouch. No. I've been studying a few things lately. And this keeps coming. That's so funny. That's so funny, Rum. That's what I've heard. I guess I've been pushing out enough. I guess I've been pushing enough content. I was kind of slowing down too, but I think TikTok has finally figured out my peoples. Because the peoples that enjoy abacus is peoples that enjoy learning things or like puzzles. Those are the two people that really enjoy it. Or they have children and they want to teach their children. The other one is the older generation. They want to keep their brain active. So one of the things was to avoid brain rot, right? So what I do is using the abacus, what we do is we do brain gymnastics. Yeah, I was just looking at my post. Like I think I finally got to a point where TikTok knows who to give my stuff to. See? Oh, oops. Yeah. So I had one that would multiply 51 by 51. And then the other one was how to make a 5. And then somebody was telling me like this number and I was like, "What? Oh, 552,600 minutes." And I was like, "What is that?" All right. So, exercising your mental incomprehension. I get you. Yeah. Also, practice, focus, and problem solving. Yes, that's very true. Problem solving. And that was the thing. Like, I know there's a few people that are a little bit older than me, and they find it kind of like intriguing to be able to do math with an abacus. And they also mentioned, which is really cool, that the abacus is different than Sudoku. Like Sudoku is great, but Sudoku is more strategic, whereas in abacus, you know the fundamentals. You know your fundamentals on the formulas, and then you know enough that you can actually start make your way with the bigger numbers. Yeah. And so like this one here is a bigger number, and we would have to know the fundamentals such as adding of the 5 and adding of the 10. So if you know your math facts of 5 and math facts of 10, then you're golden. It doesn't matter what your numbers are, you would be able to do it. So I was just looking at the next one. So if we were to do this. So this is my book. I've created all my books. I'm on book 30. Most of my tools are doubled Most of my favorite tools are doubled my age. Yeah. Well, this has been around since 1600s. So this is more than doubled your age. Yeah. And it started in Mesopotamia, so before Christ. And you know what I've noticed is people that come to my lives is a wide range of ages. So I think the people that are, so that's why I talk about it's not about the age, it's about the mentality. People that are willing to learn, people that are liking puzzles, people that have children and they want to teach their children, or people that want to keep active. Yeah. That's the double plus. Yeah. Yeah, 1600 on the abacus. So when we're looking, we have 100. That's what 100 is. 100. So every column is a place value, right? So we have our ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and then 10,000s. And there we are. Cool? Okay. How are we doing? Yeah, that's funny. Also practices and focus. So what else have you been learning, Rum? I'm trying to get another person to learn how to swim because they don't know how to swim. And they're in that phase where they want to start learning. And I'm like, you need to learn how to swim. You should all learn how to swim because swimming would probably save your life. Yeah. Hello, Carlos. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let me know if you have any questions. Was there any specific, so like we were talking about our numbers. So if I had my number, we have 3,456. So 3,000 on the abacus would look like that. So if you notice, there's a ones indicator right here. This ones indicator tells me it's 3,456. And then if we take it one more, we could do 73,000. 73,456.25. So yes, you can do decimals. You can do decimals. Thank you everybody for liking the live. Please, if you can, tap it out so I can bring in more people to the world of Abacus. Thank you everybody. Welcome.
Welcome to the real world.
Thank you so much. So, how are we doing? So that's the one thing. And then if I did this would be 55,555. Thank you again. Do you want a list over the course of a few weeks? It has been extensive. Whew! I don't know. I was just curious. Like one of the interesting things. Oh, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you for joining. What about that guy? What that was the guy from Mulan doing? He was doing the abacus. And you know, funny, they were doing the Japanese abacus and not the Chinese abacus. So if I could find it, it is, you know what? Abacus is actually quite everywhere. And it's really quite interesting. So it's in a lot of movies. Here we go. I have this to show you. There we go. Workshop. There we go. So, we have Abacus. This movie, Wonka, actually has a character named Abacus Crunch. Funny, right? And then, Madagascar, Kowalski actually upchucks a Chinese abacus. Thermodynamics, string theory, calculus, algebraic, energy conversion, architecture. Wow, that's a lot. Seoul uses a abacus type, and I don't know what kind of abacus they were using because that's too many beads. I guess there's a lot of. And then if you're ever interested, Fairy Mary also uses an abacus, but her abacus is wrong too. Oh, so Brian said Mulan. In Mulan, there's the ancestors of Fu. They use a Japanese abacus. Design, history, the list goes on. That's a lot. That's a lot, Rum. That's a lot of things to learn. And then somebody mentioned that the Powerpuff Girls, there was a episode 4, season 4, Him Riddle Diddle Riddle. She was, who was it? It was Buttercup? No, it was Blossom. Blossom was doing the abacus. It was a different type of abacus. But she did do the abacus. Wow, that's a lot. Energy conversion falls into thermodynamics. Hello, Abito. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. Of course, Abito. I do. I do. How are you? If you're interested, there is a story about a girl named Hannah, and she is blind. And they actually made an abacus out of acorns. You told me to chill like 2 weeks ago. So you did! If you're looking for, there's this one game called Empires and Puzzles. Inside there was a character that uses a pulverizing abacus. Do you know anything about finger abacus counting? No, I don't. I only know the Soroban. And then, if you're ever interested, I like this game called Match Factory. Again, it's a puzzle. And in this puzzle, there's an abacus. Can you find the abacus? Thank you for the follow, Abito. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you really took to heart when I said chill. Yeah. Thank you, Carlos, so much for the gifts. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo! That's a lot of people. Still have 52 people in my room. I don't know how long people have been around, but... Oh, yeah, so these are the different type of abacus. There's a Target abacus, it's 11 bead. There is an IKEA abacus, which is a 10 bead. There's a Kramer abacus, which is meant for the blind people. We have the Russian abacus, which is 10 beads across. We have a Koiter abacus, which is just a different color. And then there's a Rec and Rec. Again, it's just a different color. And then that's it. It's a refresher on basic studies, but accelerated. It's been actually helping in real life. That's really interesting. Yeah, I've noticed on TikTok, I've been getting people doing their own curriculum. And it makes a lot of sense. I do kind of do my own, but I don't kind of do it. I do a lot of personal finance and a lot of personal development and marketing. Problem solving. It's a universal application. Oh, yeah. I could see that. All right. So.
Bueller.
Oh.
Bueller. Bueller. Bueller.
So the kids' toy, where do you move the beads on the rod? They would be different shapes on the not an abacus. So in the one that was that will look that like the Target one, what they would do is they just go across. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's what that would look like, Brian. So when we're looking, it's very different. It's a 1-to-1. That the abacus that goes across like this is a 1-to-1. Einstein and Hawkins played with a kid's toy. It didn't start as a kid's toy. It became a kid's toy just like America has, I don't know. When did they start using the abacus in history? Mesopotamia, 500 BC. Yeah, this was actually not a kid's toy in the very beginning. It started off as a business tool, which was when they started bartering and when they started figuring out business. Yeah, that's my point. It used to be an adult's toy. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know when it changed into a kid's toy. But yeah. Oh, so did that make sense, Brian? So you'd go across. So it'd be 10 on this side, and then you go across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Yeah. I didn't know Einstein and Hawkins actually used the abacus. But I do know a few PhD mathematicians, and they said that I have convinced them that abacus is the way to go. I'm pretty proud of that, too. But yeah, so here's the history. So Oh, hey, 32,300 BC, Mesopotamia. And then in AD, 900 to 60, 960 to 1300 was in China. And then in the 16th century, the Japanese had made it more efficient. What else do I have? Oh, so it's a base. It's a 10 base. It's not binary and it's not base 5. Hello, applesauce. Thank you, Soroban. Yes, thank you so much. Can you use the abacus in your work? You're right. If memory serves, it was used for bartering and trading. Yeah. Do you use an abacus in your work? I do, because I create workbooks, and it's because I create the workbooks. Show the abacus clips. What abacus clips? Yeah, what abacus clips? Applesauce? My different places? Oh yeah, I had that. I did that. It was I just showed it. It was just a few minutes ago too. That one. Yep, I showed that. Yeah. The one with the abacus? Yep, that one. Yeah. Can you multiply or only add? You can multiply and divide on the abacus. Yes. So we can do adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. Yes, technically. If I'm reading it correctly, you can use the top tiles with any quantifying. Rumdum, if you really think about it, abacus is really just visualizing. Oh, that's wrong. Abacus is really just visualizing your numbers. That's all it is. If you need to visualize your numbers, then you can use the abacus. If you don't need to visualize your numbers, like basic arithmetic, then this would not be the way to go. Okay. Okay, thank you guys. I was trying to go longer, but I can't go longer. I'm so tired right now. I am going to head out. Thank you again, everybody, for joining. So your 3 tile, you can represent as a multiple of any quantity. I made up that word. Quantification. Unrelated. But I recently saw a math on a checkerboard. Have a good night. Yeah, you too, Random. Thanks for the demo. Not a problem. See you tonight? Yeah, I'll be on tonight. I was going to go get something to eat and hang out a little bit and just kind of regroup. But yeah, I was trying to do a marathon, but I can't. I don't think I have enough energy to do a marathon. Maybe I'll try again later, because I'm at 3.5 hours right now. Or we just hang out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But I feel like I want to take a nap. I don't know how everybody else does it. But yeah. Going. See you later. See you later, applesauce. Yeah, I'll be on tonight. Wow. Trying to get to 1,000 likes. That's a little bit. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day. Have a good night. And I'll see you all later in my next live. I think I'll be on later. Probably about 8 or 9. Maybe 9. I don't know. I haven't thought about that. Yeah, there's this one person. She was on live for like 10 hours. And I'm like, how is that even possible? Like, that's crazy. And she did it for like a whole month. That is energy. That's a lot of energy. And she just kept saying it. Like, we could, like, I don't know. Excuse me. So, like, how would I be able, I don't know. I just need a nap. That's what it is. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, Angel. This is 4. That's 5. Every time the top beat is, every time the beats are touching the horizontal bar, this is 5. Pacific, Central, Eastern. Pacific. I'll be on later on Pacific, like maybe 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Yeah. Most likely 9. Maybe 8, depending on what time we can eat dinner. Yeah, Pacific. So then this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know how she does it. So after 9, this is 10. And then 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 20. That's 20. Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm actually really tired. Thank you everybody for joining. Woo, there's still 52 people here though. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you everybody for joining. Okay. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good afternoon. See you later, everybody. Bye. Hello, Shane. Hi, Shane. You just came in? That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how people do it. I was just talking about how some people, I knew there's this one person I was following and she was able to go live for like 10 hours. I'm like, what? Got through painting a boat? Is it a yacht? Like I was watching Wolf of Wall Street. And is it a yacht or is it a boat? That's really cool. Do you go fishing a lot, Shane? And where's your boat? Is it on a lake or is it by the ocean? Hello, everybody. I gotta clean my... I can't. Nope, a towboat. Oh, barges up the... That's interesting. That's really cool. That's really cool. So when you painted it, are you painting the outside or the inside? Now I'm just curious. It's a towboat. So you paint the outside to protect it from the waters? Hello, everybody. Hello. Intercoastal waterways, painting the outside. Oh, interesting. That's really interesting. Do you go fishing a lot? Or is it for like, I don't know, I guess that's what it is, right? Fishing? What else would you do? Sunbathing. Intercoastal waterway. Oh, interesting. Yeah. It also make it work for idle deckhands. Ha! That's funny. That's really funny. That's really cool. The more I know about my peoples. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, thank you everybody for joining. We can just do a little review. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. You're not tired at all, Shane? From painting? That's 4. Every time the beads are touching the reckoning bar, this is considered counted. So these are counted. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are not counted, right? And then this is 5. The top bead will always be 5. And then we have 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we have 10. Yeah. Okay. Watching, this is relaxing. Really? You know what? I was gonna head out. I was gonna head out, and I was gonna head out. But I'll see you all. I'll see you in my next live. I'll be on later tonight, and I'll be more fresh. But I've been on for like 3.5 hours, so I'm a little tired. But yeah, I will see you in my next live. I'll see you tonight. Yeah. Hello, Jinx. Have a good day. Have a good night. And I'll see you later tonight. Bye. Hello, Joseph. How are you doing, Joseph? Oh, you know, I wonder if Audrey is on. That's what I wonder. No, I don't think she's on. All right. Hello, Joseph. I was actually going to sign off, but thank you for dropping by. I appreciate that. But I will be on later tonight. So I will see you later. Yeah? It's so strange. Like, it's so cool. It's so funny. Like, everybody just kind of drops in. Okay. Fluffer. Yeah. All right. I'll see you in my next live. Thank you, everybody. Bye. 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 Thank you for the follow.